We're on a yacht with a lot of Miami millionaires. We're gonna ask them how they make their money, what industry they're in, what's the most they ever made in a month, best financial decisions, worst financial decisions. Let's explore money, because really, money is just a game, and these people play it well. So let's explore. Do you think you can become a billionaire?
100%.
I sold that business for 115 million.
What would you say your net worth is now?
400 million.
One thing I've picked up about this younger generation is we all want to run our own show, whether it's a YouTube channel, a t-shirt company. We want to be our own boss and do things that matter. Entrepreneurship is very important to me. That's why I spent 16 weeks with Milwaukee 8th graders leading them through an entrepreneurship course that culminated in a pitch competition where first, second, and third place won money to put towards their startup. In third place, we got Cyrus. The topic of wealthy people has been forefront in our country's discussion. Some people villainize them, thinking that they're evil or bad people that somehow took advantage of people to get to the top. Other people celebrate these entrepreneurs and want to aspire to be like them themselves. The first entrepreneur I meet up with is Jordan Welch, a successful multimillionaire YouTuber that has had a variety of businesses. He takes us to meet two of his friends, Zane Jan, a man who is worth a few hundred million himself and is on his way to becoming a billionaire by 30. The other man we get to meet, Eric Spofford, recently sold his company for $115 million. Today we go through mansions, condos, yachts, Rolls Royces, and more to see what it's like living this life. Guys, I'm really excited about today's episode, meeting with Miami ultra millionaires, going on yachts.
You're wearing that?
Yeah, dude, you look kind of like a nerd.
Yeah, big time.
You guys think I should change?
Yeah.
Okay, just 1 second. Oi, someone fetch me a water!
Here we go.
Cheers.
Yo, we still the same ones. When it come to chats, we don't take none. Shit.
Yo.
Oh boy,
What's up, man?
Again, bro.
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah.
Zane,
How
nice
you
to
doing,
meet
man?
you. Tom.
What's up, Zane? Awesome to meet you, man.
Tell the people where we are right now, Zane.
So we're here in Miami, Florida. We're 39 floors up here in a penthouse. We're gonna show you a crazy view right now, so let's go. Where I used to grow up, it was like a 500 square foot apartment, and you would open up the window, your view was another brick building. When I first made like my first dollars, it wasn't getting a nice car. The first thing I did was I moved into a high rise with a crazy view, because I was like, to me, that's the most inspiring thing anyone can have.
So Zane, tell the people what you do.
I'm an entrepreneur. I run many businesses, but my main business is a company called Better Earth Solar. We're a residential solar company. So we put on a solar system, we power up your house, you have all the off-grid capabilities. I went to college, I was there for a year. I dropped out of college, I was like, F this, I'm gonna go sell solar.
And what'd you do last month in business?
Almost $40 million. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
So Zane, do you think you can become a billionaire?
100%.
And how old are you now?
27.
And when do you think you'll be a billionaire?
By 30.
How many employees do you have?
650 W2 and 3,000 contractors.
And
that
those are your
basically-
sales guys?
Those are sales guys, yeah. And you have guys there that maybe work for 3 months and make a few grand, and you have guys there that work for 3 months and make $1 million.
Your number one salesperson in the country?
$3 million. And he's from Wisconsin, yeah.
Represent.
Chance, his name's Chance Prachinsky. His first year working with me, he won a white Lambo.
So gentlemen, do we have a yacht to be boarding pretty soon?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is it?
Yeah.
It seems like we're about to hit really tough economic times in this country, and a lot of people feel like creating wealth is out of their reach and they're just destined to be poor or broke or not live an excellent life. Like, what is your mentality on that?
The only reason people never get out of a recession or people get affected by a recession is because they live a life above their means. They end up putting all of their eggs into a few baskets that don't do good today. You could either look at it as an issue or you look at it as the greatest opportunity in your life.
What would you say your net worth is now?
Company-wide, 400 million.
Does that feel crazy to say out loud?
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's a business, dude.
Where are we right now?
We're here at Island Garden Marina. This is the most exclusive marina here in Miami.
Tell us where we are right now.
We're on my 92-foot yacht called the Bonus Rounds. I have a coaching program for entrepreneurs and business owners. We have about 40 of our members on the boat that have flown in from all around the country. Deals are happening, coaching's happening. I grew up just north of Boston, about 40 minutes north of the city. I started getting involved in drugs and alcohol at a young age. I started smoking pot and selling pot.
So far, that's what we have in common with both you and Zane in your entrepreneurial journey, was selling weed was your first flip.
14 years old was my first ever massive drug purchase and sell.
I swear to God that selling drugs is a better MBA in business than you can get in college. I'm just saying it taught me a lot. When I was 14 years old in 1999, Oxycontin was just hitting the scene.
Don't be afraid to take what they give you. Often, it will be an opioid medication.
Creating this opioid epidemic, but he brought over a 40 milligram Oxycontin pill and we crushed it up, and I sniffed half and he sniffed half, and it birthed an opiate addiction in me on the spot. 6 months later, I had dropped out of high school and I was an IV heroin addict.
What brings you guys here?
Networking, man.
Solid event, man. I moved to Miami. It's like a no-brainer, you know.
Seek guidance.
Mentorship, vision.
What kind of industries are you guys in?
I'm in the audio, video, smart home.
Content creation industry.
All things real estate.
I'm in e-commerce.
I do AI consulting.
The restaurant, food, and beverage industry.
OnlyFans
I would say
Jewelry.
real estate.
Consulting space.
Podcasting. Solar, baby.
Sales.
What's the most you ever made in a month?
One time I made 180,000 in a day.
150.
300K.
37 grand.
350,000.
52 grand?
60,000.
15, 16.
Probably over $1 million.
What's the most you ever lost in a day or a month?
I lost 50K in one investment. Some guy scammed me.
10, 15K investments.
$60,000 of inventory, just spoilage.
Like 150,000. A few $1 million.
10, 15 grand.
1.2 million. I got fucked over by my old boss.
From 15 years old for about the next 6.5, almost 7 years, I shot heroin, used drugs every day. On December 7th of 2006, after a robbery gone bad, where I had robbed a guy for $82 with a kitchen knife, that's when I got into sobriety. And I've been consistently sober and in recovery since then. I started this sober house in October of 2008. It was me and 11 guys that lived in a house, and I helped them get sober and I helped them change their lives. And that grew into one of the largest providers of addiction treatment on the East Coast. We did $55 million a year in top line revenue. But I sold that business for $115 million.
Do you guys think anybody can be rich?
I think it's a mindset that you're wired and you either have or don't.
Yeah, 100%. Especially nowadays with the access with the internet, with all the opportunity that we have, anybody can become rich.
Anybody that wants it can.
Yeah, completely. 1, work hard. 2, if you have good intention. And 3, you're just surrounded by the right people. It's almost impossible not to have at least a degree of success. Why do you think rich people have been so demonized in our culture as of lately?
Self-reflection, right? They have what I want. It's their fault, not mine. It goes back to the whole excuse thing. So
I mean, most people, they're not willing to do what it takes to become successful. And that pisses a lot of people off nowadays.
Correct.
I have no idea how to dress myself in a club in Miami. What do I gotta wear?
Black fit, black shirt, black jeans.
How much does a designer t-shirt go for?
$200 to $300.
All right, guys, you can do that, or you can shop at Big Dogs Gotta Eat, TommyGMcGee.com. Get the shorts, get the shirts, get the hat, get the ski mask. All of that, you can buy the entire bundle for less than $200 to $300. We got a couple hours to kill before we go to Eric's house for dinner. I gotta find out what t-shirt I'm gonna wear so I don't look like a monkey in Miami. Let's go shopping. I spent $35 on Amazon where I was trying to replicate. What is this? I'm from Milwaukee and I don't know how to dress, and I'm trying to figure out what to wear to a club tonight.
How would you rate this fit, 1 out of 10? Strong 8. If you're in Miami, this is the way to go.
What about the Crocs?
You gotta get rid of the Crocs.
Okay. Is it possible on a budget of like $60 to get a shirt here? Is there anything that I can get?
Wow. I don't think I have anything that low.
I think I gotta go to Zara. 40 bucks, okay.
Now we're in the right bracket.
Thank you, you too. I'm starting to be successful as an entrepreneur, but I've been so frugal my whole life.
That's a good thing.
It's hard for me to just look at a t-shirt that's $200 and just buy it.
A lot of it is so superficial, bro, and it's not necessary, you know? You want people to respect you off your name and what you've created, not off of what you wear. And 9 times out of 10, people don't give a shit anyways.
Now we're heading to Eric, the guy that owns the yacht. We're heading to his mansion for a dinner that he's hosting, so we'll see you at his house. This is Eric Spoford's house. Went from drug addict to multi-millionaire. I'm gonna ask Eric how much this house costs. What is your guess?
12.
I was gonna guess even higher, like 14.
My lovely partner in crime, Lori Bedreau. Couldn't ask for a better partner. Before I owned this house, this was used as a short-term, high-end Airbnb. I got a picture on my back dock right there of Conor McGregor holding a shark that he caught. If you look up the Little Baby video.
He's playing right now on this speaker.
Yeah. But the song On Me, the music video was all shot at this house.
Crazy about me like gon' do more than 100 rounds in the screws, yeah. I get real chicks.
Here we got a movie theater. I never actually really use this room though. I don't watch any TV. So this is superhuman protocol. They say that most disease centers from a lack of oxygen in your body. And so I do this thing every day. That thing makes 96% pure oxygen. Fills this bag up, throw one of these face masks on. Right there. And I'll do 10, 15 minutes of straight oxygen, breaks up your blood and actually pushes the oxygen into your cells.
Are you still in touch with a lot of people from your family that knew you during your addict days?
I really don't have much family. My mom wasn't around and too much when I was growing up and going through all that. It's just me and my dad. It's almost unbelievable, bro. I mean, I was shooting heroin at 15 years old. Pretty much everyone who knew me in my community, friends, family, etc., had written me off as a guy that was either going to die or go to prison, which I should have. Both. 5 overdoses on life support, survived all of them, been stabbed a couple times, been shot at, made it through somehow.
Do you have any photos from back in the day?
That's me with a 45 and a bulletproof vest. We're out robbing drug dealers, yeah.
What is your advice to people that are in really, really tough situations? How they can change their life and turn it around like you did?
I speak out of experience, and so I can only give you guys what worked for me. So I started doing all the things that I didn't want to do and historically hadn't been willing to do. Like the drug dealer trying to break out of the game. When you go and get a fucking honest construction job and you can't ball out of control and spend money like you were doing, you have to be willing to do the shit that you don't want to do and sacrifice and pay that price. I had to put my head down and work. Like I spent 2 years cutting trees down, logging, like barely getting by.
Is that where you got some of the startup funding to buy your first piece of real estate?
The problem is they want it overnight.
Yeah.
Dude, I kicked a dope habit on a couch. I didn't sleep for a month. I was puking, pissing, and shitting just to get off the drugs. And then I was walking to jobs and walking to work. My first business, I didn't make any money for years. I lived with those dudes. I moved out of the $550 a month apartment in the projects to move into the sober house to live with 11 men to start this business. Wow. And I stayed there for 2 years because I've been doing it for so long. It's like this. But most people don't survive the very early stages of it because they feel like they're spinning the wheels and not getting anywhere. But it's necessary. 100%.
How can the people find you, Eric?
Jumping on YouTube, just starting to put out content there now, and so appreciate any subscribers that jump over. I'm brand new on YouTube, but I'm heaviest on Instagram.
I was talking in the car with my team, all the people that impressed me today, and you are the top of that list. You're 23 years old, you're running a 150 plus person operation. Tell me a little bit more about that.
My name is Travis, living in SoCal right now, working in the solar industry. Started out in selling alarms door to door in good old Ohio. Realized I was kind of decent at selling.
Did you go to college?
I did for a semester, and then I realized that it wasn't for me, so I ended up dropping it.
Were you already doing door to door at this point, or did you drop out and then go door to door?
Dropped out and then went to door to door.
So you do very well under pressure, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. So how soon did you go from dropout to, hey, I'm Travis and I'm successful?
Yeah, so I mean, first year sales didn't make too much money, but got the skill set.
What's not too much money?
I made like 20 grand my first summer.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next year, made my first 6 figures. It was in 4 months, ran about a 50-man pest control team. Had my buddy who was showing me some numbers in the solar, and I was like, okay, this is the real deal. We ended up starting our own company, and now we're here. Message to you guys is keep on growing, keep on pushing.
Go ahead and subscribe to him and blow him up. Folks, life is a grand old adventure. Thank you for joining me with this video. I appreciate you so much. Cheers. Do you need money to be happy?
No. Money's good, but it's a fool's errand to think, oh, I'm rich, I'm going to be happy. It doesn't work that way. Let the money come when it comes. And it'll come maybe when you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s. It doesn't really matter that much. Don't focus on money all the time.
Today we dive into the life of California billionaire Carl Barney. He's what some would say is living proof of the American dream. You see, Carl grew up in England in a family of modest means, and he came to America as a young man with just a few dollars to his name. Eventually in his career, he founded a collection of private colleges, and through the success of these colleges, he created an immense amount of wealth. Carl believed with his schools that he was revolutionizing education. However, the state of California felt differently, and Kamala Harris, the California Attorney General at the time, made the controversial decision to force his schools to shut down. And we'll be diving deeper into that later today. But for now, Carl's on a new mission, launching a book with a radical new idea that might change the way you think about life, money, and happiness. In this episode, we see into the world of the ultra wealthy, and we ask the questions that everyone wants to ask a billionaire. Oh man, folks, another good morning. We have spent the night in an establishment many would consider top of the line, the Ramada Inn. And today, we're going into the upper echelon of society. We're talking to a billionaire. Now, some people nowadays, they look at a billionaire and say, just by existing, you're sketchy, or your morals are wrong, or you're a bad person. Other people will look at a billionaire and say, you should be celebrated, studied, questioned to see what we can learn from a person like you. So without further ado, let's hit the road and get going. Folks, we are just pulling up, and this might be weird, but I can't help but feel a little bit, part of me wants to say nervous, just because I almost feel out of place. There's one end of like, oh my gosh, like in the game of business, he's Michael Jordan, he won the game, and we should look at him. But then there's another aspect of like, they control everything.
Good morning. You
Carl?
must be Tommy.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
How are you?
Welcome. I'm doing great, thank you.
So we're here in your palace, huh?
Well, I wouldn't call it a palace, but it's got a nice view.
How old were you when you made your first $1 million?
39.
And how old were you when you made your first $1 billion?
That's censored. That was actually a few years ago.
I detect a bit of an accent from you.
Yes, I was born and raised, went to school in England. When I was 18, I left England. I traveled overland from England, London, through France and Italy, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria. Spent 5 years in Australia, traveling around all Australia, and then came to the great United States.
Right now, we are in a magnificent, beautiful house. How'd you grow up?
We were not very poor, but we didn't have any money. There were 6 of us to feed. This was right after the war in England, the Great War.
Food was still being rationed for up to 10 years after the war, right?
Exactly, you know that. That's good. You must have read a book, something about that. So yeah, there was rationing, and you know, we're very frugal, live very modestly.
I think a lot of young people, especially young men right now, are feeling like they need to be a millionaire when they're 20 or they're 18, and they feel this grand urgency to do so. What would you tell them?
I'd say urgency is great, ambition is great, but don't press it. Let it happen, let it unfold. Pursue your dreams, pursue a purpose. Know what your purposes are. My purpose was education. I wanted to do a great job in teaching people. That's where I made my money, in education. But the education came first and the money came secondary. Let the money come when it comes. And it'll come maybe when you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s. It doesn't really matter that much. Don't focus on money all the time. It'll take care of itself.
Did ever in your dreams think you'd be in a multi-million-dollar house on the coast of California?
Yes, I did. Actually, yeah, I'm a big believer in dreams.
You just wrote a book focusing on happiness. Why?
Well, it was an experiment that I conducted, and I saw the results of the experiment. I saw people getting happier. And I thought, wow, this is working. I better write a book. I had no intention of writing a book until I saw what happened. I found it was inspirational, and I thought the world needed to know about this innovative way of increasing your happiness.
Have you ever been depressed before?
I was depressed one time in my life when I was a teenager. I just couldn't figure it out. And I made the mistake of reading, and this is a long time ago, I made the mistake of reading a book on psychology, which made me even more depressed. But I was depressed, I think, for about 2 days.
Do you need money to be happy?
No. Money's good. It helps with happiness. There's no question about it. There's a lot of values you can get from money. But it's a fool's errand to think, oh, I'm rich, I'm going to be happy. It doesn't work that way. Money is secondary to having something inside of you, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. That's the main thing. And then make as much money as you need to fulfill your dreams. I still have a dream of another house, but this is a
This
dream
is just
house.
a starter house for you?
Yeah, this is sort of, yeah, starter house.
During your peak working moments, what was the most hours per week you were working?
Certainly 100 hours, maybe a little bit more or less. I don't recommend it, but there's times when you do it because that's what needs to get done. This is an interesting painting. It's not a mural, it's a fine art done by Brian Larson. This painting over here is Prometheus. And you know the story of Prometheus. He took fire, which symbolizes enlightenment. The enlightenment from the gods, the fire from the gods, and brought it to man.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the most you've ever paid for a piece of artwork?
A few $100,000.
Wow.
The first college I did was Matthew Arnold College in England, where I studied language and math, and I finished the math course, but then I went to Australia, so I didn't complete the full program. Then in Australia, I took a course in accounting and did not care for it, so I dropped out of it.
Do you still need to go to college to succeed?
In some fields, you need to go to college. Obviously, if you're going to be a doctor, you've got to go to college. If you're going to be a lawyer, you have to have a law degree. You have to do so. There's some fields. So I would say yes, absolutely, and no, absolutely. It depends what you want to do.
Can we check out your kitchen?
Now you're getting very personal.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll make an exception.
Okay,
Come on,
okay.
we'll take a look at the refrigerators. This one is called the magic refrigerator. It's magic because when anything runs low, it magically is topped up. So I never run out of anything, never run out of milk or oranges or anything like that.
What's your favorite food?
I love the morning succulent oranges, fresh, cool oranges. I love the foo-foo food once in a while, going out to dinner, but I have a wonderful housekeeper. Her name is Lorena. She just cooks clean and wholesome. I will have an occasional wine once in a while, but very rarely. I stay off alcohol.
Am I right in guessing that sugar is also a minimum in your diet?
Oh, sugar is death. No sugar, or as little sugar as possible, and lots of protein, particularly when you're getting older.
I saw you at a gym downstairs. I do wrestling, I do jujitsu, and I think I can look at someone's body and tell if they work out. One thing that I noticed on you, your forearms, dude. Those are strong forearms, okay? Right here, you got the veins going on. A lot of people do bicep curls, but a real measure of a man, especially grip strength, are in the forearms.
I work out isometrics 1 day a week. I have a trainer come by on Wednesday who does more flexibility and balance type. And on Thursday, I have a strength trainer who does weights with me. And then Friday and Saturday, more cardio. Everybody has an age. You know, I'm going to live until I'm 80 or 90, or maybe they shoot for 100. He said, well, why not extend it? Why not go for a bigger number? So I thought, well, what can I really? I said, what's the record? It's a bit over 120. I think it's 122 is the record. I think, well, I can shoot for. No guarantees, unfortunately. My doctors will not put it in writing. This is like the workroom. And I do reading, writing, computer stuff, meetings sometimes.
Carl, I see you surrounded by a lot of books right now. Is there any one book that you would say has been most impactful on your life?
Well, there's a lot of books that are impactful, but one major one has been Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand.
Atlas Shrugged is a 1,000-page book by Ayn Rand, and it is basically the Bible for hardcore capitalists. The premise of the book is essentially that the hero, the entrepreneur, is continually overcoming rules and regulations put in their path by the enemy, the government, and it shows the entrepreneur's journey to overcoming this evil. This book is foundational to Carl's thinking and helps you better understand someone in the ultra-capitalist category. I read it in college and recommend you do if you have some extra time on your hands.
I wanted to do something meaningful meaningful with my life. And then I did the soul searching. I came up with 2 high values. I love management. Crazy, but I love it. I love management. I also love education. I find it's a high value for me and a high value for other people. So I wanted to do something that involved management and education. So that's when I acquired my first private college, a business college in San Jose, California. Went broke after 6 months. So I had to roll up my sleeves and work, and I built it up, became very successful, and then over the next many years, I grew it to 20 on-ground campuses in various six western states, and then started a university called Independence University, which had 1,500 people working for it, grew quickly to 10,000 students. It was quite successful in those days.
And then you had a battle with the government. They shut your schools down, if my research is correct.
Elizabeth Warren. So I'm honored to be one of her enemies. She and Dick Durbin ordered the colleges closed, and they talked to each other behind the scenes, and there's a bunch of activists that hate private colleges. All colleges and universities ought to be run by the government. Everybody knows that, so to speak. But I was private and profitable, and they didn't like that. Hey, how are you all?
Morning. Fantastic.
Carl starts off his morning with a few Zoom meetings. The first one is him giving marching orders to his team of assistants, and another one is catching up with his friend Peter Diamandis, a man who is a powerhouse in the space of innovation and someone Carl passionately supports with financial backing.
Remember, life is to be enjoyed. Enjoy the day, and I'll catch up with you when I come back home.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you have a great day.
What was your next move after your schools got shut down?
I sort of coasted a little bit. I did some consulting work. I did a couple of things like that. But I think the next big thing was the book. And it took me 3 years to write the book, and now I'm working on promoting the book.
Guys, there's something you should know. Carl has a free happiness quiz he designed to help you better understand yourself and how happiness comes to your specific personality type. I took this quiz and enjoyed reading through the results. If you would like to take it for yourself, the link is in my description.
There are a lot of people in my situation that have money and they don't know what to do with it. They give it away to charities, which is good. They give it away to the universities, which is fine, the hospitals and various charities. Whoever it was that enabled you, or me in this case, to become successful and happier, acknowledge them. And I had 20 people in my will, and I got down, I sat down with them just like I'm sitting down with you, and I said, look, you've been enormously helpful to me. You've done this and you've done that, and you helped me in this way, so be very specific. And I said, I'm really grateful, and I want to express that gratitude to you by giving you a happiness grant. So I said to them, I said, I don't want this money to be a problem for you, to make you more successful and happier. They said, well, what kind of plan? I said, well, I want you to write a happiness plan. And they said, happiness plan, what's that? I said, well, I'll hire a coach for you, a happiness coach, and they'll help you develop a plan. And when I see the plan that you know what you're going to do with the money, I'll send it to you all at one time. It's yours.
One thing that I'm observing is you can look at siblings within a family, and some are very ambitious, some are very lazy, and some are in between. To me, it almost seems like there's an intrinsic thing that some people have and some people don't. What do you think it is that sets the ambitious apart from the non-ambitious?
I think there is such a thing as temperament, you know, how you're born, and it seems like to influence it. But I think there's an influence. I think beyond that, and what we can control, is what we read, people that we associate with, identifying early in life or later in life something that you love to do, that fascinates you, that motivates you. And then if you can do that, and some people do it and some people don't, and it evolves over a period of time until you say, hey, this is what I want to do with my life.
In the pursuit of wealth, do you ever felt like you left relationships with family and friends on the back burner and you regret it?
I was never in a pursuit of wealth, interestingly enough. I wanted enough money to not have to worry about it, but I never pursued wealth. I loved management, I love education, and I pursued that, and the money came.
One thing I've come to learn about many of the ultra wealthy is they view time as their most valuable asset. So instead of spending extra time driving through LA traffic, we head to a private airstrip where Carl has a helicopter ride waiting for us.
Yeah, thank you for a safe flight. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
A little bit of happiness for you,
Thank you very
okay?
much. Appreciate it, guys.
You have a good day.
You as well.
See you on the way back.
Absolutely, we'll be here.
You know, but the American dream is so important. And it inspired generations of people, and it needs to be revived. There's no Russian dream, you know, or even English dream or Australian dream. It's typically American. And that says something about the American mindset, you know, that we want life to be better for ourselves and our family.
Why do you think so many people today feel like it's out of reach?
Something really bad happened in America. And, you know, it's probably not just one thing, but one thing after another happened. Somehow we've lost the spirit of America. We've lost the dream. And that's very sad.
So it seems like to me, the way you're articulating it, the American dream is not a thing, it's not a policy, but it is a belief in a better future that we had for many years in this country, but it's been dampened down in recent times.
It's diminished and it's faded, and that's very sad.
Carl is on the move promoting his book launch, so our first stop is at the iHeartRadio headquarters where he sits down with Ellen Kay, the host of the #1 radio show in Los Angeles. Hey there.
Who are you?
Carl, I'm Ellen.
I'm not going to shake your hand. Are you kidding me? I'm a red-blooded
Nice to meet
American. Good to meet you. Lovely.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for coming. All right, we're here with Carl Barney. Welcome to our radio show and the Feel Good Morning Show and this podcast. This is all about people who make us feel good, Carl, and you are one of them. Welcome.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm pleased to be here.
I am loving your book, The Happiness Experiment. Carl B. Barney. Tell me about the happiness experiment.
This happened naturally with real people, with real experiences. Came from three places. One, I almost died in a plane crash. We were diving into the grass. That's what I thought, this is not going to be fun. The next thing that happened was that I heard that my sister's husband was dying. And I sat down with her and I said, Janet, I'm really sorry. I said, you're in my will. And I want to bring it forward and give it to you now so that you can fulfill any last wishes with Colin, her husband. But my older brother was sitting there, and I said, well, I'm going to do the same thing with you. His wife went ballistic. She said, this is too much money. I don't want anything to do with it. It's wrong. And she stormed out of the room. So that was a big surprise, but it gave me a lesson. And then the next thing that happened was I'm looking over my financial statements, and I've been very fortunate. I've made a lot of money, but there was money sitting on my financial statement which wasn't doing anything. And these things came together. The people in my will after the plane crash, my sister giving her the inheritance, and now this money is, I said, how can I use this money for myself and those I really cared about? So that started the experiment.
Based off your experiment, do you think universal basic income is a good idea?
Oh, that is such a complicated question. I'm really not qualified to answer that, but it's good and it's bad. I mean, it's good if it gets rid of a whole lot of government interference and complication. So economically it might work, as Milton Friedman said. But generally speaking, I think you destroy lives by giving people money then they're not ready for it.
And I've actually found that giving money away is very hard and it oftentimes creates resentment in the people that you give it to. How did you avoid that with some of your closest friends and inner circle?
That was something I had to struggle with. How can I just do this? Sit down with my friends who are, you know, they're substantial people. They wouldn't accept charity. They didn't want a gift, but it was delivered in such a, and I said, you've got to think of me as being dead. You don't owe me anything. I said, if not, I don't want to do this if it's going to make a problem with our friendship. And some of them did. 3 of the people said, no, I can't accept it.
I thought it would be an interesting dynamic to schedule a meeting between a billionaire and ex-cons that were running the streets of Los Angeles. Some of these guys like Bozo did major prison time, but now after getting out, are entrepreneurs eager to talk business with Carl.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Angel Reyes.
Hello, Angel. Good to meet you.
How you doing, Jay Solano?
Fine. Leave me a hand, okay? That's good.
I think the thing is here is we're all on a similar quest of life. We're all trying to be successful. We're all trying to be entrepreneurs. And I feel like there's not a lot of it that we learn in school. So I feel like this is a cool way where we all come from different parts of life.
Yes, sir.
You grew up in England, you guys grew up in LA, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, moved to Milwaukee. And I think it's just cool to brainstorm and see what we can come up with to learn and advance our missions, you know?
Predominantly, we grew up in the city of Pico Rivera. Me and him are childhood friends. You know, both of us had rough childhoods, whatever. I just did 10 years in prison. I've been out about 9 years now. So after I did my 10 years, I told him I needed to get back on my feet, you know what I'm saying? Figure out something. I didn't want to, it was a revolving door, you know what I mean? I didn't want to go back to prison no more. I put myself through a trade school. I did photovoltaic, and also independently, I'm a recording artist. Yeah, so signed with OTR, got a deal offer, and I've been doing a lot of like administration with them, like helping with artists, also putting on music. And
seems like you could teach me some things.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, depends in what area you're trying to do it in, you know. But we're all kind of entrepreneurs. He has his own fashion brand too. He does real estate also.
But I was telling him about making a curriculum, whether it's 6 weeks or 8 week curriculum for juveniles or for parolees. You know, some type of trade.
Give them the skill fast.
Where you
fast.
Immersion, yeah, get into it and get out.
What's Dyer here?
Give the incentive to have a job after.
I think that's a fabulous idea.
So I ended up fighting for my life for about 43 days.
Wow.
In the hospital, refused the ventilator, refused the blood transfusion, asked God to help me, and within 2 days, I was getting better. I got severe lung damage. I got blind in one eye. So I had to, of course, you know, now I'm disabled, but I had to move differently and learn how to move differently. And it was a process for me for about a year and some change.
You literally came from death's door. I mean, you were about as low as you could go.
Yeah.
Physically and mentally.
Absolutely.
I mean, you were dead. You were gone.
Absolutely.
And then you turn it around, and in the last few years, you've done all of that?
Yeah.
You're freaking amazing. Tommy was asking me, he said, you know, homeless and all of that, what's the solution? I said, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know how you deal with the problems that, you know, people get in that cycle and they never make it work out. You guys have the answer. Today, Tom said to me, he said, we're going to meet these guys from the hood or from, you know, from downtown. And he said, you know, they've done some amazing things with their life and they've turned their life around to some amazing things. And, you know, I'm going to meet with them and maybe they're going to ask you some questions and learn from me. But right now, for this first half an hour, I've learned from you guys.
What's one of the biggest lessons in business you've learned?
I think one of the things that really made a big difference to me is to knowing what you want to do with your life. It's huge. You can die without knowing what you want to do with your life. But if you spend the time thinking about it, talking to people, talking to your romantic partner, talking to your friends, talking to a coach, but figure out what you're going to do and why you're doing it.
Carl, for the people out there that haven't accumulated a fortune yet, how can they use your book? How can they give back to their people?
But it's not a matter of giving back. Nobody stole anything. Nobody has to give anything back. But people that have wealth, they want to use it in the service of their own happiness and the happiness of those that they care about, those that love, and for whom they are grateful. This is a wonderful mechanism of giving them not a bequest, but a prequest to enrich their lives, their success, their happiness.
Who's a hero of yours?
Ayn Rand. I mean, she is courageous intellectually. She has promoted some ideas which were just so revolutionary, so much ahead, and she stands by her ideas. And she defends them, and she's articulate there. Who would write a book called The Virtue of Selfishness and put that in the title? And everybody knows that selfishness is an awful thing and so forth. But then when you get to understand, and that bothered me, I wasn't going to read that book. But then when I got into what she meant by that, which is living your own life and having the greatest life that you can and loving your own life and loving life. I don't agree with everything Ayn Rand read and said, but in every substantial way, I think this woman is a hero.
Carl heads to another radio show to continue promoting his book, and this time he sits down with the popular host, Rick Dees.
Hey, it's me.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, and you?
Good to see you, sir.
My assistant is in love with you.
Oh, no, I'm going to hug you for that.
Oh, well, hug her. Well, I'll take that to her. She's going to be flipped out.
First of all, she gets these. She's too hot. Shelly gets this. If you could open it, I'm going to sign it right now. Look at that. He knows how to write. By the way, it is Rick Dees. I am so very, very blessed to be in the presence of Carl Barney. And it is a joy to have you. This is a conversation, and I hope that anyone listening or even watching would take something away and say, I'm going to try that.
Right now, there's a left-wing populist movement being led by AOC and Bernie Sanders, and they're filling stadiums around the country. And one of the premises of their movement, I guess you could call it Eat the Rich, but they say that not one person in the world should be worth over $999 million that should be taxed at 100%. Is that a good idea?
It's evil. It's unjust. It's insane. It's communism. And these guys should go and enjoy China or North Korea. That's where they should be living. Because it's against human nature. If somebody is capable of making lots of wealth, they don't spend it. I mean, these people are so stupid. I'm sorry. You can only eat so many fine foods. You can only have so many airplanes, so many homes. What do you think these people, they reinvest the money. Who would you rather have spend billions of dollars? Elon Musk or AOC and Bernie Sanders? You want the government to spend your money? Or do you think you should keep it to yourself?
They're afraid it will get to a point in this country that the ultra-wealthy will be able to influence elections, influence policy, influence law, to the extent where they just get to run everything. That's their thought. What is your take on it?
You mean like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and OAC are influencing the culture and the thing? Those guys have all the political power. Elon Musk and others, he doesn't have any real power. He has persuasion, has ideas, but he doesn't have any power.
Yeah, like, I think initially when we think billionaires, it's gonna be like, holy shit, it's this guy. And he's gonna be so outrageous. I only have a sample size of 2, but these guys have been incredibly chill. Like, just pretty down to earth. And I don't think being a billionaire actually, it's how you became a billionaire that really matters. I don't think just being a billionaire makes you a good or bad person. It's how you did that. So I'm curious to know what you guys think in the comments. And is this something that you aspire to be? Like, do you want to be a billionaire? Me personally, the lifestyle I live, I know I don't need to be a billionaire, nor do I want to be one. Like, my life, even if I had $1 billion, my lifestyle wouldn't change. I would still drive my Chevy Cruze. I would occasionally buy ribeyes. Maybe I would buy nicer Airbnbs when I go on vacation, but it's not like I would be doing that much outrageous stuff. All right, folks, that was the day in the life. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Carl, is there anything you'd like to end this piece with?
This has been a very exciting and stimulating day. It's been a pleasure working with you guys. And as we say in England, I'm chuffed, which means I'm very pleased. Very satisfied. Thank you. That was a great day. Thank you. And thanks to the camera guys who were
These guys
everywhere.
Crush it. If you could broadcast a message to every home in the country, what would it be?
Your life is important. Your own life is important. And respect that. And want what you want, whatever it is that you want. Dreams, purposes, values. Whatever it is you want, what you want is important. And make it important. And billionaire has a bigger mindset. And after a while, the numbers just become, more zeros.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to purchase Carl's book, which I highly recommend you do, The Happiness Experiment. I read it. It made me think a lot about what kind of impact you want to lead in this life and planning for happiness. Do yourself a favor, get the book. Link is in the description. Love you guys. See you next time.
I was working 22 hours a day. I was falling asleep on the desk and then waking up and keep working.
And how much does one of these cost?
$7 to $10 million.
And what made you decide to get 2 rather than just 1?
It just happened.
How old do you want to live to be? I will live till I'm 20 minimum. Shut the f*** off. Yeah, you broke.
It's like fucking everybody fucking want to talk about money. And this is like the last thing that I want to talk about. They almost committed suicide 2 years ago. All their wealth, it doesn't give you happiness. It you up.
Billionaire.
Yeah, I'm a billionaire.
America now has more billionaires than at any time in history, while most Americans are struggling to make ends meet. Should we abolish billionaires?
These notes were left on more than a dozen luxury vehicles along Point Grey Road, and the tires were deflated.
Subscribe for more Eat the Rich content.
Come find us, come grab a popsicle, eat the rich with us.
Eat the rich! Eat the rich! Eat the rich! Eat the rich!
Oh, we got the cops coming right now. In recent years, billionaire has become a pejorative. So it's like that's a bad thing.
Are you going to become a billionaire one day? I would say almost certainly, but that's not the goal.
What does being a billionaire mean to you?
Billionaire to me is having access to enough resources to actually make an impact on planet Earth.
This is Jarek Tadla, and he's a billionaire that made his fortune in real estate. A first-generation Polish immigrant, he moved to America when he was 21 years old, and he got to work. Making money as a dishwasher and selling cars on the side, he scraped together enough money to buy his first property. As an immigrant who struggled to find housing himself, he realized that there was a hole in the market, so he began to build his real estate portfolio around serving the immigrant population. He grew quickly, and eventually he was able to scale into buying entire apartment complexes. And fast forward 30 years later, some might say this was a guy that had it all. The private jets, the mansions, the fancy cars, and the status of being a very wealthy man. But it was at this point where he felt the most miserable and actually considered taking his own life. After fierce internal battle, he came to the conclusion that inner wealth was much more important than any number in the bank or anything you could buy. And he decided to start speaking to an issue that many men feel in their life, the feeling that they are not enough. In this episode, we explore what a day in the life of a real estate billionaire is like, and we jump into the world of Jarek Tadla. Let's begin.
Let's fucking go, baby.
If you want a little bit of that razzle dazzle, you want a little bit of that caffeinated Mike Tyson punch to the mouth, I pop one of these things and I feel like an AC/DC soundtrack is guiding my life. Sometimes you just want to pop it in there and let it do its magic. This is a product I use, I love. My crew had to ask for a refill because that's how many we used. And the sour cherry flavor really does it for me. 0 sugar, 0 calories, just a caffeine punch that'll get you going. This makes you feel like goddamn Hulk Hogan. This will make you jump out of your seat and do jumping jacks.
This will make you weave through traffic.
Let's fucking go.
What's important to me is putting clean energy into my body. Something that makes you feel good. Use code TommyG for 20% off your first order and try them out. Link is in the description. And now for the rest of the video. Today, we're diving into the life of a billionaire. A lot of questions come to mind. What does a day in the life of a billionaire look like? A lot of us might have some preconceived notions. I mean, depending on who you are, you either might really look up to a billionaire, want to aspire to be one, or you hate them and you think they're inherently evil and maybe they've exploited people to get where they're at. Let's meet this man and let's see what he's about. Hi guys, hi.
Patrick.
Nice to meet you. What's up, Pop?
Good to meet you. Good morning, I'm Jarek Tadla. I'm an immigrant from Poland. I moved here in '93. I got Tommy G today at my house interviewing me, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
You looked us up, you saw videos of us with gangsters holding guns, and you're probably like, how do I fit into this picture?
You know which one I like the most? The one that you did with the stealing cars.
You like the car thief?
Holy shit! Like I like that one. The one with the Miami, it's like this is like a regular Tuesday. So like to me it was like okay, so I wasn't impressed because I know that. Like this bubble I know. I don't know the other bubble.
I think a lot of people in their head
when they picture a very wealthy man, they picture a person that like floats on air.
I shit the same way you do, and everybody else. Everything is the same. It's funny. I always tell my kids, it's like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Just think of that. It's like, he shits like you do. He pees like you do. He gets sick like you do. He brushes the teeth like you do. Everybody is the same way.
Despite Yark's humility, I want to draw attention to the fact that meeting a billionaire is like meeting a mythical creature. There's simply not many of them. With only 813 of them in the United States and 2,800 worldwide, they are super rare. I mean, you're twice as likely to bump into an NFL player and 4 times as likely to bump into a Navy SEAL on the street than you are a billionaire. This is an elite person. Now, to grasp the sheer scale of what a billionaire looks like, imagine this. Take someone making the average annual American income of $69,000. If they saved every penny, no taxes, no expenses, it would take them roughly 14,500 years to reach $1 billion. Now, to put that in perspective, they would have had to start clocking in at the time that humans were still painting on cave walls. Another way to picture it is this. If you stacked $1 billion single-dollar bills up to the sky, it would go up 67 miles high. That's insane. Some people say it's better to be wealthy and anonymous than it is to be famous and poor. But right now, you're entering the public sphere. You have a book, you're gonna be in all these different shows and podcasts. Why leave the shadow, so to speak, and come out into the light?
Because I almost committed suicide 2 years ago. The out there wealth, it doesn't give you happiness. It you up. I just hit bottom of the bottom. I had depression. I went through divorce like 5 years ago. The word is from the inside out, not from outside in. And if you don't understand the game, then you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, do you want me to just stay here and watch the dogs?
The car's like a rapper. Like this is what I would expect, like, you know, Key Glock or Kevin Gates.
I still shit and wash my teeth the same way everybody else.
We're have to get improved. We're have to get.
No, we're not.
We were around here about 2 a.m. 2 nights ago with some guys with face tattoos and some of Kodak Black's cousins and street associates. It's interesting to me that 5 or 10 minutes down the road, you can go from Section 8 housing, people hustling, selling who knows what out of the apartment, to just a couple miles away, there's Rolls Royces.
In Florida, it's a highway, like, you know, US 1. On the east side, on the water and all the canals, you know, it's the wealth, and on the other side, there's like, you know, it's. But you know what? I moved here in 2010. It took me like 2 years to get used to it. I felt nobody get here impressed by cars, or jets, or yachts. It's like, you know, the kids, but you know what I mean?
What cars do you like?
Bugattis and stuff. I also like Porsche a lot.
What kind of staff do you got?
Housekeeper. I have a guy that takes care of my boats, my, you know, everything outside and all this stuff, and pretty much.
Do you have a chef?
Nope.
Do you have a toilet seat warmer that sits on the toilet before you go on it, so it's a little warm?
Dude, when you're gonna see my bathroom, you're gonna. This is the most exciting thing about my house.
You do have a butt cheek warmer on your toilet?
Yes.
Do you have a bidet?
Yes.
Will you have yourself an ice cream cone on vacation? No ice cream?
I don't eat sugar.
No sugar?
I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't eat sugar. I just don't. A lot of successful people are addicts. So when we do something, we do 120%. The same thing with bad habits. And I remember getting drunk with my best friend, and I said, like, I'm never gonna touch alcohol again. He said, that's gonna last 6 months. And then 6 months, and then a year, 2 years, and like it's been now 3.5 years.
Is that a security guard with the vest up there?
Yeah.
Where is this military academy?
No.
He doesn't have a rifle on him, does he?
Yes, he does.
He does?
Yes.
My old school had 20 of those.
All right, guys, study hard, have fun, make memories, all right?
We do go shoot. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye. So you clearly see I'm the human, right? I like the views.
Oh,
shit. But seriously, look at this shit. Look, come on. It does so many good, dude.
Have you ever been in danger of getting hemorrhoids because you're enjoying the view so
Yes.
Is this glass tinted?
Yeah.
So you can be naked in here.
Yeah.
Triple shower head.
I got shower free, all the stuff. Like this is not in my best position. This is a lot of shit. Like I take long shower, all my routines, all my meditations happen here, steam shower this. Just the sound system, just here is 25 grand. My ritual is in the shower. So I spend like 40 to 50 minutes in a, you know what I mean? And
40 or 50 minutes in the shower.
Yeah, I do a lot of shit in my, you know what I mean?
Do you have any trouble with your water bill, or you can afford that?
No, stop.
Would you say the average billionaire takes good care of their body?
Yes.
There's not a lot of slobs that are...
No,
really
there are. But you need strength. I mean, you need to be physically and mentally. I mean, they're all over mentally. Like all the people that I know, very successful, very wealthy, they have enormously, like, mentally strong. Dude, I built like, neighborhood around my school because my teacher told me I'm never gonna accomplish anything.
What made your teacher say that?
Because they're teachers, so that's why I don't like schools. The school system is so broken because what happened is whatever they told, they program a software. And then it took me years and everybody else, it took us years to prove the world that that's not true. But it's funny, I always want to leave, my kids' legacy, but the only thing I was gonna leave my kids was inheritance. Inheritance is all the stuff, but legacy is all the knowledge, all the wisdom. But I didn't know anything. My wealth is not transferred to my kids until they're 35, 40, 50, my trust is written. So, because, even when they're 30, you dumb as I mean, I was dumb as when I was 33. I thought I'm on the top of the world. I thought I know everything. Now I'm 52, I'm still dumb as I still don't know anything. I'm still learning, I'm reading and all this stuff. Like, one sentence changed my world. I was in Denver, Colorado. It was exactly 30 years ago. Somebody said, hey, we live in a fourplex and we rent the other 3 units. That's it. And that changed my life.
That was your first piece of property?
No, that was the conversation. I went home with my girlfriend and I'm like, oh, we're moving to Colorado. We're buying 4 units. We're saving all the money, we're buying 4 units. And that's it.
I don't want to look like a peasant. What do I do with the spoon?
Mix it.
Okay.
Stop, man. Let's go to my man cave. I moved here when I was 21. Okay.
So you live in Poland from birth to 21?
to 21.
Okay, so what was it like growing up in a communist country?
It's like we were talking about the stores. It's like people have money, but there's nothing you could buy. So what happened is we have like everybody had access to, let's say, limited type of bread, sugar, vodka, whatever. There was no bananas, there was no fruits, nothing like that. I moved here, I was like, shit, I go to the store, it's like, what? Banana, chocolate, like all this stuff. Like you were going to the store, you were waiting in line to get a little bit. And it was like all the shelves in the stores were always empty. The information is limited. In this country, I learned about, an entrepreneur because everybody has money, but what happened, there was exchange of the services. So that's why the money didn't exist. And that's what is in reality right now either. It's an exchange of services that we do at the value we bring to the table.
So what would you tell young people that want to try communism in America?
Well, move to China or go to, still go to Cuba. Go to communist country and follow them and see and talk to those people how they work. This is my everyday mantra. Not today, motherfucker. So when the devil comes into my head and starts telling me, well, you don't need to do this, you fucking lazy blah, blah, blah. It's like, today is the day you don't have to. Today, motherfucker, not today. We're not doing this shit.
How you doing? Are you Tommy?
Nice to meet you, Tommy. So, year and a half ago, right? I'm sitting, getting ready to for the workout. I'm eating my ice cream.
Before a workout?
Yes. So this motherfucker comes in and is like, Papi, what are you doing? I'm like, eating my ice cream. I'm like, okay, it's my cheat day. He said cheat day, and this motherfucker comes in and goes like, listen, we don't cheat.
We don't cheat, baby.
I did not have a cheat day in 20 years. Wow, I will live till I'm 20. minimum. That's
120.
120, yeah. Like, you know, it's like, well, if I have an accident and something happened, I have no choice, right?
So right now you're 52.
52, I'm young, I was just born.
You think you're gonna live to 120?
120, yeah. That's my goal, minimum 120.
How do you think you're gonna make that happen?
Longevity, just, you know, take care of my body, mentally, emotionally, mostly physically, the right diet, eating everything right, and it's just daily routines on a daily basis.
And you got a secret sauce.
Me. And yeah, that's it, that's a secret sauce.
You think living to 120 is possible?
Human body is capable of a lot of things that we can't even fathom, right? And I think your mindset is everything. Your mindset could push you to limits beyond your imagination.
Man, the United States needs some help because when you look around and see how many people are fat and unhappy in the richest country in the world, it's just kind of mind-blowing. Just with all the poison that's in our food. And I remember seeing this during COVID. Everyone would be home, but you go drive by a fast food restaurant, lines around the corner. I'm just like,
I mean, I just came back from Europe, right? Mm-hmm. You put cheese on ham in refrigerator in Europe. 2 days later, they have a mold. They literally walk out of the refrigerator. They're old. Their bread is fresh one fucking day. Here, you put a bread, a month later, you can eat it. The ham and the cheese stay in refrigerator for a month. We putting this shit in our fucking body. Don't. So you don't fucking play with demons in your head? You don't have that bullshit.
A really good wrestling coach said, talk to yourself, but don't listen to yourself. So, because when you're warming up before a match, all of a sudden, my legs are weak, I'm kind of hungry, or maybe I need to take a shit, or when you just listen to yourself, all those voices creep in, like that you're not good enough, or that you're not ready. But if you talk to yourself, like, yeah, I got the pace. I'm gonna put this guy on a pace. I'm gonna put a pace on him and make him break. And I'm pacing and I'm talking to myself. That helps keep the demons at bay.
Sure. That's a good one. Can you set up the inner call in 10 minutes, in 5 minutes, 4 minutes?
You can jump
on the TV, the thing. Okay. In office.
You can jump on a call in 3 minutes?
Yeah, I have the inner circle call.
Nice.
Okay? Yeah.
Yarrick is walking into his office to jump on his weekly call with The Edge, a group of high net worth men that meet to talk about their goals, struggles, and give advice to each other.
Right? I mean, we need to reset, because if we go 100 miles an hour, if we don't reset, it's like that's gonna crash. And I gotta tell you, like I'm keep talking about it. The demons are in my head all the time. That is like, it's a gift and a curse, because that's what we never stop. You know what I mean? You gotta give it all, and truly give it all.
Take the money! Like you pray for something and then God gives it to you and then you get depressed? Are you the same man you were 3.5 years ago? Are you f***ing holding on to shit from 3.5 years ago? You're not the same motherfucker you were 3.5 years ago. Yes, motherfucker, I am in talk.
Andy, why don't you tell the motherfucker just about $130 million in real estate, so f*** off. Yeah, you broke.
It's who you are in these times, Andrew, that will determine who you become. It's who you're becoming that's more important.
For 13 years, he basically prayed for his kids to shut up. So that as soon as they learned to shut up, he prayed for them to start talking to him.
I'm just showing you the blueprint of what's possible. It's up to you to figure out how. As fathers, it's our job to help them see that they could do it even better than us.
In this grind, and we forget what is important. You know what I mean? And on the end of the day, none of our queens or our kids, they don't give a f about the money. They just give a f about us. Next level!
Let's go. Take from the goal.
That no matter what level of success you reach, there's always something around the corner. There's never a stage of life where everything is just settled in and okay and no conflict, no worries. Whether it's on the business front, relationship front, you always got something that's a challenge, and that's just part of being a human.
Eatable, avocado, banana, coffee, peanut butter, almond butter, and chocolate cookie.
Yeah, that's right up my alley.
In the evening, what I do a decaf coffee. So I don't drink coffee after 1 o'clock. For me, sleep is everything. And my sleep is fucked up, when I wake up, like with oral. When I fucked up, my sleep is fucked. the whole day is f***ed. Come on in, sit down.
How are you, sir?
It's Tommy.
Hey,
Tommy.
how are you, sir?
Nice to meet you.
Nice
How
to
are you?
meet you as well.
What do you do?
I sell real estate.
Yeah?
So houses like this. I saw in this house, multiple.
What's it like being in that market?
It's my passion. I love it. It's exciting, you know, especially down here. I mean, look at this.
So you're walking.
Doesn't get much better, right?
I had no idea what's about to happen. I find out the shit the way you do. So it's a Forbes interview about the book, I'm assuming. So we'll see. You know? Can you hear us?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you all. Can you hear me?
Hey, Mark.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And we are recording. Let's start from the beginning. You're from Poland, correct?
Yes. You know what? The only thing I never knew what I'm gonna do. Funny, I always knew because I'm coming from Poland, from communist country. I always knew I never want to work for anybody. I always knew I'm gonna be, entrepreneur, and I always knew that I'm gonna work for myself.
When you came here, you lived in, where did you live the first time, in Rochester?
Rochester, New York, upstate New York.
And then you moved to Denver. Where
Denver, Colorado. I'm in Florida, South Florida.
What's it feel like having a book out there?
It feels good. It's a step one. It's a step one. It was good, right?
That's good.
Yeah.
He felt that. You feel it?
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, you have such a contagious message. Because I think nearly everyone, in some way or form, wants to be here, wants to be in this palace on the water, wants to have the jet, wants to have the real estate. And then for you to come and say, actually guys, that doesn't fulfill you, that doesn't lead to happiness, it's kind of refreshing. Especially in Miami, we see the opposite. We see these guys flexing their Lamborghinis, flexing their women, flexing their whatever they got, their Gucci shirt. And it's a refreshing, honest, authentic, raw, true message.
You know? Everybody fucking want to talk about money.
Yeah.
And this is like the last thing that I want to talk about.
Can I tell you this though? Starting to make a little bit of money now, but from the outsider perspective, the common man perspective, the money gets people's foot in the door. If you were worth 70 grand and you're starting to talk about how you wanted to up, a lot of people are in that shoes. But a guy that has made what you've made talks about that, it's like, holy shit. Like,
I only could find people that, because in this society you get level of respect depending how much money you have. And that's what is fucked up. Because the best people that can teach you and they can show you, they don't have a time to share this on social media, they don't have a time to write a book, they don't have a time to be around. Because they're busy, their fathers, they're working 3 jobs. You know what I mean? But because they did not accomplish anything financially, so they don't have a word.
Why do you think that is?
Well, you just said it. Because it's a bullshit story the society is giving to us.
You get judged based on your net worth and...
If you see a homeless guy on the side of the road, do you ever give him $1?
Dude, I did give, to homeless people, yes, but not to everybody.
What makes you decide when you'll give them a couple bucks?
I don't give to people that, sit on the street and just on the red lights. But like when I go by the homeless people and I see like they're really struggling or picking up stuff from the trash can or just ask me at the store, then I don't have a problem.
You're pretty good, you're either. Good and bad at the same time. Jesus Christ. So you would say you're a risk taker?
Entire life.
Entire life. How long have you been flying private for?
2 years.
You just started pretty much.
Yeah. It's comfort.
How much demand is there for chartering a jet these days?
A lot.
Yeah?
They pretty much are there pretty much all the time.
What is it, if I wanted to rent your plane to fly from here to Chicago, how much would that run me?
$28,000 one way, $30,000.
And how much does one of these cost?
$7 to $10 million.
And what made you decide to get two rather than just one?
Well, what happened is, like, the way I entered the partnership, so they own few of them. So it just came with it. Like,
it just kind of happened?
It just happened. It just comes like that.
Would you say you're frugal?
I think so.
Is it hard for you to spend money?
You know what? It's hard for me to spend money on some things and easy on some other things.
What's a hard purchase for you?
If I can get the same value for different amount, that's what I'm struggling with.
Polish immigrant, first generation American. Your specialty in real estate was you realize, hey, if you're an immigrant, you don't speak English that well, you kind of get treated like shit as a tenant, and there's not a lot of good options for you.
You're listening.
So you plugged the hole in the market, and you catered to immigrants, right?
Low-income tenants, and that's because that's they're not being taken care of.
A question you gotta ask yourself when looking at a bathroom: is this a bathroom that you would take a poo in? If it is, then it's the right bathroom for your client.
Thanks. When you first moved to America, what job did you have?
Dishwasher.
This was where?
In Rochester, New York.
Okay. How long did you do that for?
I was a dishwasher for a month because I quickly went from washing dishes to help in the kitchen, and I was a busboy and also waiter.
How did you save up the money to buy a fourplex?
I was in college. I was community college, so the community college was very cheap. And I moved back with my parents, and at that time I also was buying and selling cars. So what happened is I was buying like a car after accident, fixing them, and then selling them. I was making profit.
A big thing you did is you were humble enough to move in with your parents.
Yeah.
When most people would say, I just want my own apartment. And you saved a lot of money there.
A lot. It saved me like another, $900 to $1,000 with everything.
You gave the analogy before, like your first 10 properties is a lot harder than your next 100, right? Talk about your philosophy of momentum.
Like we talked about, like pushing a car. It's hard to start, but the second you have a startup, you have it going, for some reason, then even if you think about it, you sleep on it, you think, you breathe, you shed this, like you think, real estate, suddenly everything around you just, starts going to seminars, start asking questions, reading the books about real estate, and you start, and that's the momentum.
Okay, and so how old were you when you bought your first property? 23.
24.
Part of getting rich is you have to own stuff, own your own business, own your own real estate, own something. So this is the first property I got. It's a 4-unit in Milwaukee. This is what's helping me be able to get my second, third, fourth property. Pretty soon I can peace out from the corporate world, do YouTube full time, travel the world with the señorita, and live the lifestyle you want to live, So
by 29, how many did you have?
73 properties. I retired.
Free and clear or leverage?
No, leverage.
Okay.
But what happened at that time in Denver, the market moved enormously. Like all the properties with appreciation in Denver, 7 to 9 and then to 12% a year. So, suddenly those properties was worth a lot more. At that time, I flipped all the little properties and I buy bigger. And then the game just started.
Okay, so 29, 72 units, you retire, come back. How many units do you have today?
Thousands.
Thousands?
Thousands.
And you're being vague for personal reasons, right?
Yeah.
But thousands of units.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest challenge in owning thousands of rental units?
Operations, having the right crew. I think the biggest, when you even jump from 100 to 200 to 500, from 500 to 1,000, is the infrastructure you have to create. That's the biggest challenge.
Have you ever been close to going bankrupt?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
2008.
You almost lost it all.
Also, that's what happened. That's the first time I hit depression, but I didn't know that's depression. I thought I'm just going broke and I didn't know how to deal with that. I started buying everything I could put hands on, everything, because suddenly I was in 2096, 98, I was buying properties for $100,000 a unit, and suddenly it's 2008 and everything in Denver started crushing, and I was picking up properties for 27 a door, 21 a door, 19 a door. Wow. So I was buying everything. I'm like, this cannot last. And then Lehman Brothers went out of market. They went bankrupt. And I'm closing a $12 million deal that I closed, that I raised the money, and the market was not recovered. And my investors started Alec, I need that 20 grand. Okay, so I give him out of cash flow. Suddenly another one, I need 100, I need $1 million. Yarek, I need my $3 million back. I don't have the money, I have to refinance the building. Nobody's giving loans. So now suddenly my big investors are coming like, Yarek, it's been a year, I need the money back. It's funny, Tommy, you asking me about the billionaires. I know how liquid they are. To average Joe, the money that they have, they're very liquid. But some of them, there's like two schools. Some of them, use all the money and leverage as much as they can, and some of them keep the money for safety. But everybody I know, they have a reserve accounts.
When people hear the word billionaire, they often imagine vaults overflowing with cash, as if $1 billion is just sitting in a bank waiting to be spent. But usually that's far from the truth. Most billionaires don't hold their wealth in cash. They're investors. Yarek's fortune, it's tied up in real estate. Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook equity, and Warren Buffett, an astounding 99% of his wealth is locked into Berkshire Hathaway stock. Why? Because cash sitting in a bank doesn't grow. To become a billionaire, you need to put your money to work. You have to move it, invest it, and strategically place it in vehicles that generate high returns. And some would argue that that's the mindset that separates the wealthy from the ultra wealthy. Yarek took my crew and his family out for dinner, and something noteworthy was that Yarek made his kids stack their phones in the middle of the table to ensure that everyone was fully present for the conversation. I also learned there that his kids worked regular jobs, like for example, his daughter is a waitress. So we hung out together, ate some sushi, and after that, we went back to his house to finish our night. So, last thing before we get out of here tonight, we have questions from the Instagram chat. Do you care about the poll?
Yeah, all of it. It's of course I do. This is like, I don't divide people. I don't segregate people between how financially, how strong or how poor they are, or I qualify people, and I care about all good human beings. If you're poor and dick, no, I don't care about you.
Do your nuts feel bigger because you have money?
I love you guys. Nuts don't. Ego, yes. Your nuts feels bigger, definitely.
In Poland, what kind of family were you born into as far as lower class, middle class, upper class?
In Poland, there was there was lower class, there was middle class, there was no upper class. So I was definitely born in the middle class.
Have you ever been invited to Bohemian Grove?
No, I have no idea what it is.
Like, have you ever been invited to some cult or
No, I haven't.
Is the American dream still possible?
Fuck yes. Huge. And I think it's more possible than ever was before.
Why?
Because of the social media and how quickly with the information exchange and how actually younger and younger people are getting wealthier and wealthier.
We got to dive into your life. We got to learn a lot. I got to experience things that I've never done before. I've never been on a jet before. Thank you for that. Any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with?
Remember, everything you need is within you, and the inner wealth is more important than the outer wealth. Enjoy life. Be humble and stay a good human being.
Pleasure, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm getting out of here. It's your bedtime, isn't it?
It is. Holy shit, it's 9:30, brother.
Dude,
it's time.
We kept you up late,
Holy
huh?
shit. Truly, thank you, man. Again, thank you, guys.
All right, we'll see you.
Okay, bye. Peace. Good night, Patrick.
Believe that human beings are demons.
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
No one's ever seen this. This is his original presentation to raise money from the 70s.
I think he started with good intentions, but I think power and money went to his head.
We're at a gate here.
Oh, boy!
Kenneth Copeland is one of the darkest individuals I've ever come across.
Off the property, now.
What is that badge, just by the way?
Off the property.
You
want to see this? Off the property. Whoa, you're being flash your gun?
In that magnificent name, the name of Jesus, amen.
Kenneth Copeland. You might recognize him for his interview on Inside Edition.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
He's the guy that claimed to defeat COVID-19.
COVID-19
COVID-19!
COVID-19!
He speaks in tongues.
And
he claims he will live to 120.
I will live and preach this gospel till I'm 120 years old.
And he's not joking. And would you know, folks, that Kenneth Copeland is America's richest pastor, with estimates of his net worth ranging wildly from $300 million to nearly $1 billion. And today, we're diving into a series of disturbing allegations concerning Copeland and his church, Eagle Mountain Ministries. Allegations like that he allegedly used church donations to build a private oil empire that rakes in millions. That he promised his donors a Christian retirement community, but instead, all that money allegedly went to things like this. So we flew to Dallas, Texas to infiltrate Kenneth Copeland's empire and expose the truth about his ministries. We teamed up with Nate of the Religion Business, who has dedicated the last few years of his life to exposing people like Kenneth. From standoffs on his private tarmac to uncovering his private hunting grounds, we show you the side of Kenneth Copeland that he has spent his entire life trying to conceal. 7:30 right now, Sunday morning in Dallas, Texas. In about 3 minutes, we have a guy named Nate pulling up who's part of something called the Religion Business. He's made it his job to bust out the nonsense that's happening in nonprofits and churches around the country and even the world. Nate suspects that Kenneth Copeland is actually a fraudster, allegedly, and that this is a man that we need to investigate, look into, and make sure we understand what is happening with all the money flowing through his church, all the broken promises, and how is a pastor worth nearly $1 billion?
What is up, brother? Good to meet you too, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I've got a really big 30 by 40-inch map of his property, so we'll block it out. I think. Scoped out, it sounds. Oh yeah, we have this place down to the roads. I am Nathan Apfel, TV and film director, and my mission is to bring accountability into the religious institutions here in America and the world. I was raised a Christian, raised in the megachurch scene, and I realized this whole system is a house of cards and it needs to be taken apart and be rebuilt.
Kenneth Copeland is one of the darkest individuals I've ever come across.
Justin Peters is a world-renowned preacher who uses a deep understanding of biblical scripture to expose the lies of prosperity gospel leaders like Kenneth Copeland. There is perhaps no Christian better suited to be an expert witness on the teachings of Copeland than him.
I honestly believe that Kenneth Copeland is demon-possessed.
I think he started with good intentions, but I think power and money and the ease in which people are manipulated went to his head.
This is Sarah. She worked for the Copelands for years, and after she could no longer take it, she chose to leave the church, even though she knew this would mean being cut off from her parents, who to this day still work there.
We were not allowed to talk to him or approach him in any way. He would come in with fully armed security guards, which is a little weird when you're going into your own business.
We've been looking at Kenneth Copeland for several decades.
This is Pete and Barry. They are private investigators who have spent decades looking into Kenneth Copeland, and I was shocked by some of the things they had dug up about Kenneth.
When my boss, Ole Anthony, sat down at breakfast with him in the 1970s, Kenneth Copeland ordered pancakes. He handed them back to the waitress and said, "God doesn't want me to eat cold pancakes." And everybody thought he was joking, and they looked at him and everybody looked back and forth. He was serious. He was dead serious.
Kenneth Copeland has been raising money since the late 70s for the revival capital of the world, which is this. This is his sanctuary. So for 44 years, no one's ever seen this. This is his original presentation to raise money from the 70s. He used to mail this to people, to millions of people in the US, and ask for money.
There was never any real plan or any real push to have any of that done.
This is Melissa, another former Copeland Ministry employee, and she spent 6 years with the church doing things like admin work, marketing, and ministerial relations.
Kenneth Copeland planned to build 6 things on this property. A ministry facility, which is the church building, the headquarters, his Kenneth Copeland and Eagle Mountain Church's headquarters, a resort hotel, paying members to use, the Kingdom Park, a beautiful park to use, his radio and TV center, and Wisdom Heights, which is a retirement community. So you give to me, and you will be able to live in our retirement community, and all the while, you'll get to come and watch broadcast TVs, our recordings, you'll get to live and enjoy the revival capital of the world.
Part of the revival capital of the world was actually finished, but most of it was not.
How are we going to penetrate this operation?
Main roads here. There's a railroad crossing here. We're going to come in. This is the main highway right here. This is the gate. There's sometimes a police officer stationed here, but the gate's open because there's going to be a couple hundred people pouring through here.
Do they have this police paid off? Like, are they paying this guy to watch?
They do have private security for the whole property. So we're gonna come right through here. These are all the parking lots for the church. You're gonna walk into the building. So there's a gate right here. So this is the private road. It's a dirt road that runs all the way here.
Okay.
All the way here, around here, and we can either jet down through the tarmac and come around to his house, or we could take this back road and kind of walk through here. But I say we just stick to the
tarmac, dude.
The tarmac it is.
We fly down here, catch that, boom,
yeah,
get to his house.
Before I went to Copeland's church, I first wanted to donate to him so I could be a paid member and feel like I had a right to be in the places I would be investigating. And as soon as I did donate, he began to send me a barrage of emails. In his very first message, he offered to heal my body, eliminate my debt, and restore broken relationships. What a nice guy. The Copeland sent many emails, and one theme that kept popping up was donations. They used Bible verses to encourage giving with phrases like sow the seed, which really means send them money, and receive your anointing, which is allegedly what happens when God notices that you've donated to the Copeland.
If you sow a seed to Kenneth Copeland, you now have obeyed this divine law that says you will get back what you've given. You've given to a man of God. And so he justifies it because, hey, all believers should be healthy and wealthy.
They also promise to pray for you every single day if you become a partner of theirs, which leads me to wonder, did they turn pay for play into pay for pray? And one other tactic that stands out is what some call strategic generosity. You see, the Copelands offer you free little promotional items like an audio file from Gloria or a welcome box with their magazine of them in it. And some say that these small gifts are given with the intention that it will trigger a sense of obligation for you to send more money to them. And it's a clever cycle. You give to them to get blessed from God, the Copelands get your money, and somehow faith becomes a financial transaction.
What are the odds they're gonna get police there?
I bet security is gonna catch us before we even get there.
I think we need to change our attire.
I agree. Let's get ready for church.
I grew up going to, in what was at the time, one of the biggest mega churches in the country, Willow Creek Community Church. Thousands and thousands of people in a huge auditorium. There was escalators in the place, restaurant, cafeteria, bookstore, basketball courts. It was amazing. I've never had that, like, oh, I have a spiritual connection to God. And so I fell away from the church as I got older.
What do you think it is that makes someone continue to give money to a guy that already has private jets, a 19,000 square foot house, and much, much more?
The poor and the sick are desperate.
Because people want to believe desperately in the miracles.
This is a way for me to grow my bank balance. This is a way for me to become richer.
This is Melissa. She's a Christian YouTuber who uses her platform to discuss theology, expose false teachings, and help people spot spiritual deception. Here was her take on Copeland.
What you give, you will get back. And if you can teach people that, if you can shut down their ability to even understand what the Bible actually teaches about it, and their ability to critically think, then that's an easy given. That I believe that.
Morning. If we're trying to get a Bible before the service, is that the Bible store over there? The bookstore?
Oh, the bookstore? Yeah, just go in the main entrance and it's right to your left.
Thank you, sir.
So they're a decently well organized unit. All right, we're infiltrating, we're going in. Miguel, we'll see you in about 45 minutes.
Yes, sir.
This is the moments we live for in this world.
Dude, this is 12 years in the making right here. Okay guys, I'll see you. I'm gonna go to the bookstore. How you doing, sir?
Lauren, how you doing?
Oh, thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing? How you doing? Is there a way to buy a Bible right now, or no? Is the bookstore closed? Oh, bummer. I go get my Bible out of the car. I was hoping to buy one here. Thank you.
Top of the morning to you. How are you?
Great. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you? Dressed in my Sunday best, I went into the service to get a feel for how the Copelands do church. I knew going in that Kenneth had an almost ridiculous amount of armed security. I mean, just look at how they responded to this woman who asked questions about scripture.
Can I ask you, do you think it's always God's will for you to be healthy and wealthy?
Yeah.
So how do you answer 1 Timothy chapter 6 when God says that those that desire to become rich fall into all kinds of temptations?
Actually, I'm going to get you somebody that can answer all your questions for you.
Okay. That's the person you said can help me, security?
Yes.
You don't want to be questioned? Why not Kenneth Copeland? Because he doesn't speak to people, does he?
I'm sure of course he speaks to people, but that's where they have staff pastors to meet and answer any questions.
So we went in incognito with spy glasses, trying to stay under the radar before we left the church to storm Kenneth's compound.
One of the things that was very much emphasized was the fact that there's cameras around and you've got to watch what you say because people are listening.
Describe the volunteer culture in the church.
It is very unhealthy. I also volunteered there for a while. I would definitely call it labor trafficking because they expect you to do everything for free and choose that over your actual job.
Love is king, Jesus is Lord. It's exciting. You can't stay, well that's fine. You can put that in the offering basket. Not in and of ourselves. Our victory is.
You might be wondering, where is Kenneth? And the truth is, Mr. Copeland is rarely seen preaching at Eagle Mountain these days, and his daughter Terry has more or less taken over as lead pastor.
They used to put out reports that would let their partners know this is what we spend on missions, this is what we spend on employees, that type of thing. And when George and Terry took over, they decided they did not want any transparency at all whatsoever. So even percentages, not even with numbers, none of that is, or at least when I was there, was not available to the public.
As I sat in my chair, maybe I was being too cynical, but it felt like the entire sermon was laced with marketing pitches to get people to tithe, which is the biblical word for giving 10% of your income.
If you'll fill that out, put that either in the offering basket when it comes, put your prayer request on there, and that way we have your name.
We thank you for the ability to grow in wealth.
You see, Kenneth and other prosperity gospel preachers have morphed tithing into this weird formula that essentially if you give money to them, an anointed prophet of God, that it will somehow translate into God then deciding to multiply your income. Now, some of you may have been expecting a bigger auditorium, and what you have to realize is most of Kenneth's audience is watching through TV, hence why they call him a televangelist. And in his church, he had dozens of ushers who also double the security, many of them probably armed, but most importantly, their job was to approach people sitting in the back and bring them up to pack the front of the church. The reason? To make the audience look filled to capacity for the people watching on their TV back home.
The longer I was there, they started limiting bathroom breaks. You're not allowed to approach certain people. You're expected to all act the same, dress the same. They expected all the body shapes to be the same, telling people they were poorly representing Kenneth because they were a little bit overweight.
We're in a most important time in this nation. We need to know how to vote.
A quick note, folks, there's something called separation of church and state. One way that churches keep their tax-exempt status is by avoiding direct political endorsements. But here at Eagle Mountain, you see classes aimed at educating their members on how to vote. And Kenneth Copeland himself makes his political leanings pretty clear. Here where he mocks Joe Biden.
The media said Joe Biden's president. Ha 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 ha.
And here where he attends a Trump rally.
I copied his suit.
To some, this raises a fair question. Should the IRS be paying closer attention to this kind of activity?
People urge people to vote and they're training people to properly vote, and then in private, wink wink, it's for a certain generally Republican candidate, but not always. They can't go after that particular organization's tax-exempt status unless they actually have film of the pastor saying on film to vote for actually a person.
We snuck out halfway through the service so we could attempt to infiltrate Copeland's compound while his security team was focused on the people inside the church.
Like in some ways, it's a very passionate church service. Their music was excellent.
Yeah.
But then it almost felt like everything was like an infomercial to like go back into giving.
Yeah.
Bible verse, direct you back into giving.
Yeah.
We see in a lot of these preachers is that they'll say, the Lord told me a number of you need to give $1,000, things like that.
Ushers, close the doors. Seed, if I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight.
I don't for a minute believe God is speaking to them like that. There's nothing like that in the Bible.
I really don't think you could listen to a single sermon by Kenneth Copeland or one of these other prosperity preachers where money is not, if not the focus, at least mentioned.
Churches are not required to file 990s. Some provide a church financial statement or an audited financial statement to the donors. Sometimes they'll just have a brief summary and an annual report.
Brother in arms of the Copeland Ministries. Let's freaking get it, okay?
Get it. It's gonna be fun, boys.
While everyone else is worshiping in full swing, we're using that cover to get in here as deep as we can.
So if you go to the right here, there's an oil platform.
Oil field right there.
Look at this beautiful farmland. Who would have thought parishioners were paying for this beautiful farmland off to the... Oh, we got a gate. Mother.
Another way around?
Oh, it's opening.
Oh, boys! I think Kenneth might need to raise some money to patch some of the concrete here, the asphalt.
That's so kind of him that his gate opened for us. Let's see if this gate opens. It's a parsonage. So, oh my gosh.
Woo! This is the road that leads to Kenneth's home?
Yep.
This is almost a billionaire's compound that he's gotten from church money, and to be behind enemy lines right now, driving up to his house is an independent journalist's dream. I have a hunch it's gonna be like the first three.
No, this one needs a keypad. So, should we just hang out here and wait for someone?
Folks, you should know that on this mega mansion you see, Kenneth Copeland allegedly pays no property tax at all. That's because this house is claimed as a parsonage, which is a property that the church owns and provides for their pastor, which makes sense for most American pastors where the average salary is a modest $52,000 a year, and thereby provides housing for their pastors living a life of sacrifice. But should these tax breaks be used by the ultra-wealthy like Copeland, who for years now has avoided paying what should be a six-figure tax bill? You tell me in the comments.
Have you ever been to his parsonage, the house?
No, I never have.
Has it has many employees?
Not a lot. I think the people in housekeeping, in maintenance and housekeeping, security, all of that. But no, but the people that go down and decorate for Christmas.
I would assume that the church paid for this, yes.
He has a greenhouse over there, presumably on the church dime. There's a private hunting grounds. This is a playground for a man.
I'm trying to see how this all lines up, because when Jesus walked into a temple and saw that people were buying and selling and making money in the temple, he flipped over the table and cracked the whip and said, "Get out of my house." How is this even possible to interpret the scripture in this way?
I honestly don't know. Like the mental gymnastics it takes Kenneth Copeland and his congregation to correlate Jesus or any of the apostles to Kenneth Copeland is mind-numbing.
Should we call the church and ask the gate code?
It's your first time calling us?
It is, yeah.
So how can I pray with you today?
Oh, I would love to meet Kenneth Copeland. Is there a way to meet him? I was just really praying to be able to sit with him and get some wisdom from him. So I've been praying for a while to be able to meet him. I've reached out to him a few times and he hasn't responded. But yeah, we're at the gate to his house, but it's not open.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure how that works. I think the best thing that you can do is come to the church.
Oh no, we're already by his house.
We're at there's 3 gates, and ironically the 2 first gates opened for us, and I see that as an act of God, to be honest. Like he wanted us to meet him in his house, but just the 3rd gate, it takes a passcode and I don't have it. Do you have that passcode?
You would have to go to the church.
Oh, okay. We've all become members.
I donated $69 this morning. I'm a member.
69, that's a big number. Good for you for your first donation.
A biblical number, some might say. So we've been praying for the gate code, but apparently
it's another road, but it'll have the same height.
God's busy right now.
100%.
So we're gonna go to the private tarmac that he has, named after himself, and we're gonna further explore. Kenneth! Oh, Kenneth!
When we discovered there was this huge mansion on the property, church members would call us when it came out in the news and said, we didn't even know about his mansion on the property. We've had informants tell us that it's got a sweeping spiral staircase like you would see in the old movie Gone with the Wind. It's got a bridge across the living room, and the Kenneth Copeland's closet is approximately 35 feet by 20 feet, something like that, bigger than most people's living room.
This is just a man's playground is really what we're on right now. People donated money so they could have a retirement home, a park, this biblical paradise in a way. They believe in this message that this was going to be the city for us to come and gather and celebrate Jesus and the Lord and His love and His mercy, but instead, it's just some rich guy's playground. What kind of letters would you get from people asking, they talk about the letters asking for help?
Mm-hmm. We used to get a lot of like, I can't pay my rent, I just lost my job. Like, here's a copy of my lease. Can you pay my rent for this month?
And how often would he help these people?
Hardly ever. On average, I would touch probably 8,000 pieces of mail a month. I maybe saw 3 or 4 that got helped.
Yeah,
Everyone else is, no, total.
In the 2.5 years?
Mm-hmm.
We're on Kenneth Copeland's private tarmac. Let's check it out.
From what I've seen here, it doesn't seem like there's much distribution. Like, you look at the revival capital of the world, what he's been raising money on for the last 44 years, the distributions all went to him.
Do you have any idea what kind of money the church was bringing in through this on a weekly basis?
I can't give you like an exact number, but I know they did several fundraisers a year that would reach $10 million. I think last I heard, like, Kenneth's personal net worth was like $760 million.
He's had planes since the 70s, and he's had jets since the 90s, and perhaps since the late 80s. But now he's got 2 private jets. They're owned by the ministry, and 2 twin-engine turboprop aircraft that are also owned by the ministry.
But the 3 things that he's missing are
the resort hotel for his parishioners.
Do you see that?
Nope. Kingdom Park, which looks like it got turned into a high-fence deer hunting ranch
for him.
And then Wisdom Heights, which is an elderly community for people that donated. And we've heard from people that some parents donated hundreds of thousands of dollars thinking that they would be able to retire here.
So, do we have any proof that he actually did try and build the hotel or the park or the retirement home?
The retirement community I don't think there's any proof that he ever tried to build that. The hotel, he never tried. I've never seen blueprints. There was never sewer or water or electricity brought into the property to be able to build something like that. The park, there's a Frisbee golf course. He raised or generated $700+ million. A Frisbee golf course, I guess, is you could say it's a park.
Who are you guys?
We're all tithers. We were just trying to see the parsonage because we've never seen any documentation on it.
Why are you out here on the runway?
Because the gates are all open for us. We were just cruising around.
No, you cannot be out here. This is an active strip.
No, it's not. We know it's not.
No, this is active.
It has to be repaid.
It's active.
Listen, I get you're out here to expose stuff. I get that.
He was supposed to build all this stuff.
I'm aware. Listen, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you are on a private airstrip on private property right now, and I need you to leave immediately.
But we're paying members of the church.
If you don't leave, you're going to be criminally trespassed by the police. Get in your vehicles and leave now.
No, I want to ask him about the resort hotel, Wisdom Heights, and the Kingdom Park. Is the Kingdom Park the Frisbee golf thing up there?
Hey, that's a work in progress, so just don't worry about
it. For 44 years?
It's a joke to you.
No, I think the joke is a guy pretending to be like the power of Jesus Christ is secretly bawling while all the promises he made seem to have not come to fruition.
Well, take us to the church and we'll go to the church.
Yeah, just go right out this gate.
We're going to go out this gate, guys, and head to the church. We're going to head to the church right now.
Okay, pal.
We're just a couple parishioners. Yeah.
Off the property, now.
What is that badge, just by the way?
Off the property.
Can I see what it is?
You want to see this? Off the property.
Whoa, did you just flash your gun? We want to see your badge.
No. You
did.
Jack crap.
You did.
Get off the property.
Okay. Are you police?
What did you
or
flash at us?
Doesn't matter.
You literally threatened us with your gun, dude.
Okay, look, he's doing it again. That's
No,
crazy.
I'm not.
We're unarmed. You are. Put your other arm up.
You
We're
do
unarmed.
not belong on the property. How did you get on the property?
There's literally gates that you pull up to and they open.
No, there's not.
There it is.
How much do you want to bet we rolled the whole time?
You got it. Please stop. What are you, how? Let me ask you, really guys, seriously?
Yeah.
What are you doing out here?
Like the church. We're members.
You go to church here?
Yeah. And we're tithe members.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me show my receipt.
Receipt for
I
what?
gave Kenneth Copeland $69.
Okay,
A
great.
considerable sum.
Great.
Doing that with the gun was a little nuts.
Well, you know, when I get a call like this, what would you do?
What was the call?
The call is we got people on here that don't belong out here. That's what I got.
Gotcha.
So then when I pull up, I got a crowd of people, cameras flashing everywhere. What is going on?
Yeah.
And then you're on the runway.
Yeah. We'll get out the runway. We'll get out the
Yeah,
runway.
we'll meet at the churches.
Holy shit. Someone threw his gun on us.
That guy looks like fucking psycho.
Yeah, he was ready to fucking
Kill someone.
Kill us for Copeland, dude?
Yeah. Oh shit, it's gonna...
Did you just impersonate a police officer?
No, I didn't.
What'd you flash at us?
Shut the camera
What'd you
off.
flash at us?
It is my badge for the job.
Can you show me that?
No, I already showed it to you.
But
And
we're
actually,
not.
that's probably more dangerous than a weapon, isn't it?
What?
This?
A camera? That's
Sure.
truth.
What?
I know it is.
Is this another?
It
Okay,
brings
guys, what do you want to ask?
We were going with you to the church, but you pulled over.
Yeah, I did. You noticed that.
These are the 6 pillars that Kenneth used to raise all his money. The resort hotel he promised, he did not build. Kingdom Park, he did not build. He built the radio and TV center. He did not build Wisdom Heights.
Where are we going?
I'm saying he committed fraud.
Allegedly. I think of all places you'd expect transparency, you would want it in a church. But the truth is, how KCM spends the donations it receives is something only they know, because churches are not required to file the Form 990, which is the financial disclosure form that other nonprofits must submit to the IRS. And the religion Kenneth claims to represent features its main character Jesus doing things like humbly riding a donkey into town and flipping over a table when men tried making money in the church, leading many to question, in what way does Kenneth's lavish lifestyle resemble anything remotely biblical? And furthermore, how is Kenneth allowed to enrich himself while completely being shielded by a tax code that was designed to protect genuine religious work?
The IRS has used 14-point criteria to categorize churches. And in the 80s, they were able to successfully prosecute a number of organizations that claimed to be churches that weren't, because they didn't have a membership that regularly attended the church. And nowadays, the IRS doesn't even want to investigate churches, and so Copeland's ministry is one of those that doesn't file a 990. So nobody knows, his donors don't know what's going on.
How is the IRS not looking into him?
That is a good question. I remember back in 2008, Senator Chuck Grassley attempted to do that. You know, in the United States, we have freedom of religion, and I'm grateful for that. But within, underneath that umbrella, you've got a wide berth there. If it's my religion to say, if you give me $1,000, God will heal you of cancer. If you're foolish enough to believe that, well, that's my religion. You agreed to it, so I'm covered. You can't come after me legally. You can't sue me.
So what are you here to do?
I'm here to point out a fraud.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Oh, well, I've got way more than this. I've got
I'm
more
sure you
data
do. Then
than...
why are you here?
Because
if
we
you've
wanted to
got
go
everything
see.
you need.
Oh, I don't have everything. That's why I want to talk to George or Kenneth.
Okay, that's not going to happen today.
The only people that ever
Please
call me
tell
are
him to
lawyers.
shut the camera off.
I can't. That's his job.
Well, the next
We wanna
step
talk.
is for you to vacate the property.
I'm a paying member.
Yeah, I know. $69 or
No, that was
whatever
Tommy.
it
I donated
Okay.
$69.
Whatever.
Yeah, but we pay for it.
I can show you the
They could
receipt. I
actually-
paid $69 to this church.
And as of right now, you guys are criminal trespassing. They've asked you to leave. After this, you guys will no longer be allowed on this property.
For how long?
Saying up to a year.
Up to a year?
A year?
Can we mark the calendar and visit you in a year?
I think they'll mark it for you.
That guy did flash a badge and his gun at us.
Okay.
I identified myself.
We won't press charges if you invite us back into the church right now.
Really, you're going to negotiate that on camera?
I think that's fair.
Okay, so hop in your cars and head out.
See you next year, guys.
Yep. Take care, Steve.
See you next year.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Well, boys, we got our money's worth this Sunday. I think there's probably a lot of good things that happened at that church. You could tell there was a tight-knit community. There's a lot of love in the air. I'm not taking that away from these guys. What we are talking about, though, is when it's that much money on the line, it's fair to know how that's being allocated, how that's being spent, and why things that he promised to people, like there are old ladies at their house that donated absurd sums of money to this guy. And nothing ever came to fruition. Hey, I'm gonna build you a retirement home. Nothing. In an effort to get both sides of the story, we reached out to Kenneth Copeland multiple times for an interview, but similar to Scientology, he typically does not do interviews because the results tend to be disastrous. But in the interest of fairness, I wanted to highlight the good Kenneth Copeland Ministries, or KCM, has done, and it was actually harder to find than I expected. I read through their 2024 report, and here were 3 major things that I found they celebrated. They distributed 84 million ministry materials, meaning things like books, CDs, and digital downloads. The report claims that they brought over 7 million people to salvation in Jesus Christ, and I learned that KCM has very strong ties with Israel and highlights donating surveillance equipment, security cameras, and tactical gear to their Israeli partners. Interesting. And after reading the report, most of KCM's charitable giving seems to be in the form of things like Copeland branded Bibles, sermon audio, and even a Copeland Christmas album, leading some to ask, is this really charity, or is this just self-promotion disguised as ministry? I'm here on the scene with private investigators. You guys have been looking into the Copelands for how long?
For several decades.
How do you think he came across the funds to get this kind of stuff?
Well, he already had the property when they discovered that when fracking was invented, and they discovered they had gas underground there. And so they started drilling in about 1995 and were hoping to be self-sufficient.
But do we know what kind of funds he used to buy this? Do you know if it was church funds or otherwise?
He raised funds for Revival Capital of the World in the 70s. Purchased the property. He says he got it for a steal. He flew over the property when he was flying back from Oklahoma and said God told him that's going to be your property. And they discovered oil on it after they owned it.
I heard the Lord, I was looking across there. I heard the Lord say, see that tree right over there? And I said, yes, sir.
If you're looking at it from his point of view, God surprised him with the oil, why not use it, right?
Right.
Anything to add to this oil kingdom we see behind us?
Typically, when you have a nonprofit organization with drilling like this occurring on the land, it would be considered unrelated business income because oil drilling has nothing to do with the ministry of the nonprofit organization. There's a form called a 990T for unrelated business income. It would typically be reported and taxed, but there's a crazy loophole in the law. If the property's paid for, they do not have to report it as unrelated business income.
If we were to look at all the people that have lived since biblical times to now, Kenneth Copeland would be in the top 0.00001% of lavish livers. I mean, there's kings that didn't even live like he does today.
And he uses those scriptures about Solomon, the riches of Solomon, to justify his wealth.
What if it's that same guy as yesterday just comes out and just starts firing?
I think that's the same. That's the same truck.
That's the same truck.
Is it?
There's a helicopter right there.
Look at that. Hey, Kenneth! We need some answers! If you could speak directly to Kenneth, what would you tell him?
I'd tell him pay your fair share of taxes and get out of politics.
Our goal was to storm Kenneth's private jet hangar and climb aboard his luxury aircraft. So we tracked down the place where his jets were stored, and this is what happened next.
We found out that Kenneth Copeland is not using his own tarmac to store his jets, but he's using this one right up here. So we're gonna see if we can find a way into his tarmac to see what his jets look like. You ready for a mission?
Yeah, we're at the Lyons Airport. There's a private hangar over here that holds Copeland's jet. And then whenever his buddies fly in on their private jets, they're all just racked against this fence line.
This is the place where the famous TikTok clip about Kenneth Copeland speaking like a demon to that lady, this is the famous area.
Since he got a bigger plane, his main plane can't land on that small of a runway anymore, so he had to move here.
What we're looking at right now is something that very few people in their life will ever even get access to. We're looking at a private airport. This is where the ultra wealthy fly out of. And the thing is, some of those people here at this airport are megachurch pastors. Jesus told people to go out and sacrifice, to go out and give into the people, to go out and struggle and suffer. He had disciples that were on the road preaching that got persecuted, that got killed for spreading the message, living in great discomfort, living a life of sacrifice, living a life that they gave up everything they had for Jesus. You guys tell me in the comments, does that fly with you? check this out. Check this out. Look what we got here. First parking space next to the door, EMIC, Eagle Mountain International Church. So this is where his fancy car parks. He goes in there for his jet. They paid a premium for this spot. How do you people give money to this man? I don't get it. I really don't. The question that comes to my mind is how in God's green earth does someone rationalize making almost $1 billion off the backs of their donors and their own church members when there are so many real issues in the world? Hunger, education, housing, mental health. That's what a church is supposed to do, is to help the community. But instead we have this son of a bitch who is just racking up the income. Again, I'm not calling his members stupid, but I don't understand it. How does it feel speaking right now? And would you say there is a climate of fear to speak out against Kenneth Copeland?
I mean, I'm scared, but that's just how I was raised, and I feel like it's breaking that tie.
Is there a real fear that someone would come after you for speaking out against him?
Potentially.
What is it that you want the people to walk away with after they see this episode on Kenneth, but also the bigger problem of misappropriation of funds within the church community?
There's a lot of issues in the system, in the religious system in America, but it has all the tools it needs to fix a lot of things too. American Christians are the most generous givers in the world per capita. They give more away to charity than anybody else. So that means that the Christian church has more resources than anybody else. It has more time than anybody else. So here's the crazy part. If reform was brought into the religious sector in America with these religious exemptions, the Christian church has enough resources, just if we stopped most of the theft in churches, to solve the top 30 global social issues, and it would affect no one's bottom line. You could change the world tomorrow.
The Apostle Paul makes an interesting statement in 2 Timothy 3, verse 13. He says that evil men and impostors will grow from bad to worse, deceiving and being deceived. Both of those dynamics can be at work in the same person. Kenneth Copeland is actively deceiving people. He knows that he has given many, many false prophecies. I would tell Kenneth Copeland to repent. I would say to Kenneth Copeland, Kenneth, I don't hate you, but I do hate what you do.
If I could say one thing to Kenneth Copeland, it would be, dude, the church should be the most accountable, transparent organization in the world. It is the literal arbiter and voice of Jesus, or the manifested voice of that. And instead it's the darkest, shadiest sector in the entire economy.
Folks, as you probably know, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what needs to be exposed about churches and pastors out there. And no one covers this better than Nate and his team at thereligionbusiness.com. And if you use my exclusive code, TommyG74, you get a discount and the ability to watch the entire series of all the work they cover. This is a really important issue, so I highly recommend you go to their website, buy the videos, buy the series, and check it out further. Thank you guys for joining.
My biggest single session win was $11,526,000. I don't know if you know, but I'm restricted everywhere. I'm not even supposed to be in this building.
What's the game you play?
Slot machines.
What's the most you lost in a night?
Around 300,000. Hotels in Las Vegas don't have balconies.
Because when people lose big, it's very tempting?
Yeah. Vegas is visited by some of the most powerful, wealthy, and elite people in the world. But because of that, also comes a lot of people trying to latch on and had made it a living to take what they can from those people.
We need a knockout, a tap, a submission. We win, that's $5,000 right in our pocket.
Today we explore the world of high-stakes gambling. So of course we head to Sin City, Las Vegas. This is a place filled with gambling and vices galore. But did you know it owes its roots to the righteous? That's right, the city's rise can be traced back to religion, more specifically the Mormons. In 1954, a Mormon banker named Perry Thomas broke tradition by approving bank loans for casinos when no one else would. Vegas went from a ghost town to a place that some would call a typhoon of dark money. Throughout the 50s, 60s, and 70s, major casinos were secretly ran and controlled by organized crime families from cities like New York, Chicago, and Cleveland. And to this day, gambling remains one of America's most divisive industries. Last year, Vegas casinos pulled in nearly $9 billion. To them, it's about choice. They offer an escape, a thrill, and a good time. Critics, however, see Vegas differently, a predatory machine built to exploit addiction and desperation. To see into this world for myself, I assembled a crew of high-stakes gamblers and headed to a lavish penthouse that would serve as our headquarters for this operation. Folks, we're here in the midst of Sin City, Las Vegas. Temptation, gambling, there's dreams being sold. There's a place where hustlers hustle. I have to say, Vegas is a place I find a little bit depressing. It's like a consumerism, capitalism hellhole. Gambling is something that I've avoided largely in my life. In the traditional sense, I do believe you gotta gamble. Like I gamble on doing this. I gamble on real estate. I gamble in the stock market. So I guess in some ways everyone gambles. The question is, where do you draw the line? So we're pulling into the Cosmopolitan. There's a man we're meeting by the name of Raja who has a suite somewhere up here. Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
And where are you taking us right now?
I'm taking you up to my penthouse suite.
How often do you live like that?
Pretty much every casino I go to.
What attracts you to Las Vegas?
You know, I've just always gambled. I started gambling when I was young, at 16.
What's the game you play?
Slot machines.
What's the most you won in a night?
$1,081,000.
Oh, I can't believe this! I just won the $1 million! Oh my God!
What's the most you lost in a night?
Around 300,000. These are all their special suites. There's 21 special suites here at the Cosmo. By invite only. You can't even book these rooms.
So this is what the high life is like.
This is what it's like. So it's got a hot tub, massage table.
You take advantage of that?
You know, I never really get massages in the room. One interesting, really fun fact is, do you know why all the hotels in Las Vegas don't have balconies?
Because when people lose big, it's very tempting?
Yeah. I know, people personally who have lost everything, and then when they had the shooting on the Strip, that was a guy who lost all his money, went upstairs to his room, and unfortunately started shooting at people.
The reports that Haddock was gambling $10,000 a day before the massacre may be a clue.
Paddock checked into the hotel a few days ago and, according to sources, spent much of his time there gambling thousands of dollars at the casinos.
So, I mean, there's been tons of stuff like that. You know, Vegas is it's a show. It's a place to have fun. It's a place to have a good time. And, if you go too deep down the rabbit hole, you could fall for it. But, if you're focused and, doing your thing and having a good time, then enjoy the ride.
Would you consider yourself a professional gambler?
I've had the last couple of years have been very good, and especially with winning $1 million. But I wouldn't say that long term and over the course of my life that the gambling's paid for everything I have. The influencing now that I'm getting paid for and the sponsorships and different stuff like that definitely is making a good chunk of my money. Slot machines are a set percentage.
It's pure luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what your actual win percentage is?
Most of the machines in the casinos are set to about a 9-10% hold rate. You should win 90% back, but most people play into infinity, which they just keep going, so they're just gonna run out of funds at some point.
You seem like a smart guy. Choosing a game that's pure luck, why?
You have no worry in the world and you don't have to make a decision. Just hit a button.
Mickey?
You too, bro.
How are you?
Yeah, pleasure, man.
Nice to meet you. This is Mickey Mace. He's one of gambling's most controversial characters. Some think he's one of the best gamblers in the country because, after all, he's gambled on behalf of massive hip-hop stars, and he also flaunts multi-million-dollar payouts from casinos. However, if you look at the YouTube comment sections, he's a heavily debated man. Many question the truthfulness of his claims and alleged conspiracies ranging from he's a paid Vegas insider to simply accusing him of misrepresenting his stories. I'll let you be the judge.
I don't know if you know, but I'm like restricted everywhere. I'm not even supposed to be in this building.
Why is that?
I've been banned from almost every casino in the world.
Because?
Well, I know it's for winning too much. Some of them have said it, and some of them won't.
I made most money in Baccarat, second most in Blackjack, and I would say I probably play in the highest stakes PLO games in the world. My biggest single session win was $11,526,000.
How do you prove it?
Well, all my tax statements are out. I mean, we could log in all my tax records right now. Drake to Lil Baby to literally anybody you could think of come forward to verify that they've witnessed it happen. So all of these people come forward to verify. Not a single person can say they've ever witnessed the opposite.
Don't they want you to play high stakes?
Yeah, because they think you're gonna lose high stakes.
My biggest loss was $8 million in an afternoon. Losing the $8 million was a very confusing feeling. And then it hit a certain point that felt helpless.
But I also don't want to mislead people thinking that it's easy or it'll happen to them, because almost it won't happen to them. They're almost guaranteed to lose. And if they let me keep playing and didn't ban me, maybe eventually I would have gave it back.
Your origin story as a business is the spam king. You sent 100 million emails a day that were spam.
Allegedly. So back in the day, I was in the online advertising business. I got into email marketing, and I used to send out lots of 100 million plus emails a day, and then I got sued by Microsoft, the New York AG, MySpace. Did very well doing it, but I never broke any laws. I only broke terms of service issues is where most of the lawsuits stem from. Paid almost $20 million in fines. At my peak year, I did 108 million was my best year.
In 1 year?
Yeah.
This exact location of this drive-through that we're driving in, I got in a high-speed pursuit with $4.5 million in cash, and they used to do trunk checks there, and one of the security is how I got away from the guys chasing me.
Why were you in a high-speed chase?
I just won $4.5 million at Bellagio, which is across the street. And so to go this way on the strip, you have to cross and make a U-turn. And as we made a U-turn, I noticed that we were being followed from the valet at Bellagio. I told my boy stomp on it, he did. There's a truck behind us, stomped on it, followed us, and we pulled into here. And when we got to the trunk check, they saw all the cash in the back seat. I just told security, I was like, yo, someone's chasing us, hold them up. And he gave us instructions. So if we stuck to the right there, it takes you to the employee parking lot. He told me how to navigate it to get out to Cobalt. And he's like, when you hit Cobalt, make a right and just get out of town. That's what we did, and we got away. So we're here at the Venetian. I've won more money in this building than any other building I've ever been in. I beat them for $15 million. And I'm actually kind of nervous being here. I also have not been back to this building, not even once, since I've been banned until right now.
We're here on spring break, so it's particularly packed. It's March Madness weekend, and people are moving and shaking in here, and it honestly blows my mind. My idea of a vacation is an Airbnb with no one near us, near mountains or woods, but this different strokes for different folks. And guys like Roger here thrive off an environment like this.
This is the one I got the $1 million on.
You want to try again?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it again. See if we can hit a jackpot. Most of the people who have hit the $1 million have done it. 80% of them have been on $25. Here it goes. That's a good hit. That made us a little money. 2 more. 1 more.
You'll stay here for how long at a time usually?
Until I'm happy, you know. Sometimes if I win a pretty good jackpot, I'll quit. If I don't hit something, you know, sometimes I'll go all in until I get it. I don't have a set time limit.
Were you ever married before?
No, I've never been married. I have twins. I have twin boys. Unfortunately, their mother passed away. One of my first fun experiences with them was both of them came to the casino. We all play together, but they don't really have a big interest to gamble. Haven't been into it, and that's a big problem for the casinos. Is that younger youth does not have any interest really in gambling on slots. It's just not something to do. They grew up, you know, playing online video games and so much other stuff.
Because I don't follow sports that closely, I didn't realize how massive sports betting has gotten. And this is how it all happened, folks. Previous to 2018, it was illegal across the United States. Then the Supreme Court made the decision to rule sports gambling to be legal, and this unleashed the floodgates. 38 states have since approved it as part of their legal commerce, and this has resulted in a booming industry that did $300 billion in 2023. Which, to put in perspective, makes it more than 30 times bigger than that of the business of the Vegas casinos. And according to Siena College Research Institute, nearly half of men aged 18 to 49 have a sports gambling account. And furthermore, the average household that does sports betting loses about $1,100 a year. To me, those numbers are astonishing. Let me know in the comments if you think this is something we need to be concerned about as a society. How much money are you willing to lose today?
We got it. We got it. Up to $1,198,000 I could win right now.
Now what do you have to do?
All I have to do is that.
I know who you are. I love you, by the way. Thank you. But they don't want you here, so we're just gonna.
Trust Baseball 2021. That's all. 21-21, you can come back.
21,
yeah, man.
So 10 years?
No. 100 years.
100 years. I got a 100-year trespass.
Yeah, man.
Hereby warn you that you are trespassing property by statute 207. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe out there. Have a good day.
Sorry. Thank you. So I saw them like gathering, like pointing at me, and I was like, I know, you know.
Here's our property, so you gotta go out.
Oh, we're not on.
We're still on property.
This is the closest I'm allowed to come.
So any past year?
Yeah, they told me they'll arrest me if I come back. Yeah.
Is 100 years a typical ban?
No one's ever used the number 100 before. They're like, you're banned, get out.
Have you ever played slots before?
Never.
All right, you know what? Touch that. I'm putting my faith in you. I don't think I've ever had that happen where I didn't get one extra ball.
So we won.
So we won $400. Not very good.
And how much did we spend to get this 400?
So we have 2,000 in the machine. So we're down right now about $760.
Is this fund itself, or because you've already made tens of millions of dollars in other business, you just can afford to lose?
I can afford to gamble from the money I've made from my other businesses, but the gambling and being an influencer now definitely helps to fund it.
For people watching this that might get into this, do you advise it?
If you've never gambled in your life or played slots, I would tell you probably save your money. You're never going to win long term. Lucky Lacey, you ready to bring me some luck?
I'm gonna try.
What's the most you ever lost?
The most I ever lost in a day was $300,000. For my birthday a couple of years ago, I did $5,000 spins. So I did 50 spins at $5,000 each. Plus I did 50 spins at $1,000 each to celebrate my 50th birthday. And unfortunately I lost, just during that session of $300 grand, I lost about $250,000.
What's the most you lost in a night?
That was between 3,000 to 5,000.
This is Lucky Lacey. She's a former exotic dancer and winner of 2016 Miss Nude Universe, and she's a friend of Raja's who also likes to play slots recreationally.
I tend to just take what I want to lose that day. So if it's what I would have spent in a night out having fun, then I take that. And if I don't lose all of it, then that's a win for the night. If I lose it all and go to the ATM machine, then that's the only time I really consider it being a loss.
What's the most you've lost in one night?
20.
What was that like?
It was okay.
This is John Lillis. He's a former world champion American skier who has since moved on to become a full-time sports bettor. He and his partner Chris run a Discord chat for clients that want to copy their bets. They consider themselves sharp action bettors, which is a type of strategic gambler that looks for undervalued spreads in an effort to win bigger and more consistently.
Just like anything else with gambling, you build a tolerance to it, right? And if you know that you're lifetime up, or you're doing the right things and you're just catching a bad beat, or something doesn't go your way.
The one thing, like, to show you a bonus, we go down this game actually goes all the way down to 10 cents bet. Like a $10 spin, so we just fast have it and see if we can get a bonus so you can see what it does. One freaking bonus here. Oh, this is big. We got the upgrade. This is big, so this is gonna upgrade us this wheel. We could hit this major right now for $12,000. We could hit that super grand for $167,000. This is big. One more. All right. So these are all going to become wood houses now, and we're gonna get another spin. Oh, that's huge. Oh my God. We got our first gold hat right here now. So on a $100 bet on this machine, 2 nights ago, I won $51,000. We have a really good chance at a jackpot on this one. Oh, 750, that's a good one. So we did it, got a jackpot. Boom, 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 baby. 1,742.50. Wow. Not bad. This is good.
So we just won a jackpot and a tenant's on the way.
Yeah.
Does this money mean anything to you?
Yeah, I feel like I got a little revenge for what we put into it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's not life-changing. It's not gonna change where I have dinner at tonight. We can continue gambling a little bit more.
You do this as a professional.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been doing it, and what is your ROI?
I've been gambling for a long time, right? Even in my early teenage years, playing poker, blackjack. I mean, I was the kid with the fake ID who ran to the blackjack table, and I came through it very organically. Since I've been tracking and posting and helping other people win and really tracking my action publicly for other people to see, where other people can actually track what I've done, I would say we are at about 3.5 years now with a 400% ROI.
If you understand how the sportsbook works and you understand how the public thinks,
you understand that the market moves based on what the public thinks is going to happen outside what the actual probability is. Every bet has a hold, and you can actually erase that hold by finding where the public is, and sometimes a line might move because of a reason, right? A key player might be injured, someone might be out, information might be coming in that a star player was up all night with his girlfriend and drinking or whatever and showed up late to practice. That all can come into it. But sometimes none of that stuff is a factor. It's just who is more favored. Because a lot of people bet with their heart. You will get more money by being on the other side of that bet.
And is this your career? This is your income?
Career, full-time job. What we do is, we do this every day. So we do have that secondary income stream of, there are a lot of people that are looking for an edge and they want to gamble, but they want to gamble responsibly and they want to
So people subscribe to get your picks.
We take serious bettors that actually want to treat it like an investment, that they're in it for the long term. We're looking at the UFC main event tonight. These two fighters have already fought before, a 3-round fight. They don't have a lot of finishes between them. Marvin Vettori, one of the fighters, never been finished. Because of that, 2-to-1 odds that this fight will go the distance. What we're betting is that this is going to be the fight that trend ends. We're going to go this fight to not go the distance. We want to see someone get knocked out before 5 rounds. How you guys doing? You got UFC lines?
Oh, I have my biggest bet of the year going on this game right now. So if I start freaking out when Florida hits 91 points, that's why. I need Florida to hit 91 points by themselves. And 7 points in 7 minutes for Florida is pretty doable. So
I want the main event. I want to not go the distance. 1,800. So here it is. Here's the slip. We laid $1,800 to win just north of 4,500. We're looking at this fight. Last fight of the night. We just need either fighter to end this thing before it gets to the judges.
Yes, let's freaking go, boys! Oh, that Alabama defense. I love them. They don't play defense, baby. That's the biggest cash of the year right there. 500 on Florida's team total at -110, so probably about 450 or so. And then I told the guys in the club to take it at 3 units. So whatever they normally bet, I told them to triple it.
I think Vegas could be really cool if you use it correctly. And I think the best form of using Vegas correctly is not trying to use it at all. I think if you come here allowing it to use you, that's how you get the best experience out of it. You don't come here trying to win. You don't come here trying to meet a celebrity. You don't come out here trying to get famous and make $1 million. You come here to have fun and piss a weekend off with your friends. So it's filled with a lot of smoke and mirrors for 2 reasons. 1, to take everything from those elite people, and 2, because without it, anyone who's in between working class and elite doesn't really have a way out.
Casinos didn't get pretty based on people winning money. So I think everything is set up mathematically. I don't think there's anything intrinsically that you couldn't find information-wise where you're being lied to. But I think things are probably psychology-wise led to make you spend more money. Everything is incentivized to get you to spend more. So if that's smoke and mirrors, then I guess, yes, that probably exists.
That's 100% true. I mean, if there is an advantage that someone can take or a scheme that they can run or a scam that they can get into, someone has found their way into it in Vegas, and it just is what it is.
To me, gambling is not that much different from alcohol, porn, fast food, or video games. Done to an extreme, they can ruin your life, but done in moderation or not doing them at all, you should be okay. But my question is, what is it within some people that seems to compel them to take their vice to a self-destructive level? While some people can be disciplined and abstain from temptation, others seem to have a compulsive aspect to their nature. While I don't know why that is, what I do know is from top to bottom, from the music in the lobby to the scents that you smell in your room to the free drinks and much, much more, Vegas is a place designed to tilt the odds away from you being able to maintain your own self-control.
I think Vegas ruins lives. I think it causes more deaths, whether it be literal or spiritual and emotional, than almost any other place in the world. It's built on the sex trade. It's built on glorifying sex work and prostitution. Exasperates most people's weaknesses. Vegas is sold as an idea that all your dreams can come true and you can do anything you want and fix all these things, but the truth is, it's a hole
and it's a trap. Every single thing you see here on the strip was 100% built on your money. This only exists because you lose. I don't think you should enter any form of gambling, especially Vegas, the mecca of gambling, thinking you're gonna win. If this isn't a testament to the billions and billions and billions of dollars that the people spent to have this built, we are in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. There's no reason a city should exist, let alone one as lavish and exciting as this. This is built on losers. Every day, everybody comes here to lose money. Don't be foolish and think you're gonna be the winner.
So here's the deal. There's one fight left. 25 minutes, 5 rounds. All we need is this fight to not go to the distance. No judges involved. We need a knockout, a tap, a submission, a disqualification. Anything of the above, we win. That's $5 right in our pocket.
What's going through your mind after the loss?
I'm never fucking betting a sports bet next to this fucking guy again.
So why not?
I'm a superstitious guy. He wasn't liking the play early, and you got to have good energy when you're gambling. You get the energy that you bring into it. So if you bring bad energy into gambling, if you ever see someone at a table and they got bad energy, run the other way, because the gambling gods will never look favorably upon bad energy.
Do you know any tragic gambling stories?
I know a lot of tragic gambling stories, from people's wives leaving them to them selling their houses and cars. Your comps, you have an automatic 30, sometimes up to 40% of spending power based on your theoretical loss. People call it theo, it stands for theoretical loss. It does not mean literal loss. As a matter of fact, you could win while still having theo. Every time you play, whatever they tell you your theo is, 30% of that number you can spend on anything you want on property.
So guys, there's a lot of ways to gamble in life. The ways I prefer to gamble, one is betting on myself. So this YouTube journey has been one big gamble that has finally paid off. But then real estate, stocks, really just the S&P 500. I believe it's a big mistake not to take a gamble on yourself. However, the question is, what is an appropriate gamble? One of the oldest rules in the book when it comes to gambling or even investing is only put down what you are comfortable losing. Where people really get into trouble is they bet the house on something. Why would you bet your house? That's where you live. I will never bet or invest. I would recommend investing over gambling, but invest what you can stand to lose. That's a age-old maxim that holds true. Well, folks, the sun has just set on the Las Vegas Strip. And all around us right now, someone's rolling the dice, someone's placing the bet, and maybe someone just lost their house, maybe someone just won the jackpot and won big. It's been a fascinating look into a world I had no idea about. As always, guys, I appreciate you for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Peace.